Welcome into Charles Martin Memorial Stadium at Northeast High School in Northeast Philadelphia, the site of the 2017 Philadelphia City All-Star Football Game. Alongside Mark Tribble, I'm Ari Bluestein, and we bring in Mark from the Courier-Post. I know you're a Philadelphia resident, but you cover South Jersey football, but this is really going to be your first experience getting to see the public, Catholic, and Interact football players here in the city of Philadelphia. Are you excited here, Mark?
Oh, absolutely, Ari. It's a great event. Looks like plenty of people are out here ready for it, and I think even the gray clouds toned down a little bit from yesterday. Maybe a harken back to football season.
Yeah, it does feel like a early November football game right now, considering the last couple of days we were in the 90s and upper 80s. But, yeah, definitely a cool night, not too hot, so hopefully no cramping or what you normally see in a May All-Star football game. As you see, the players are being introduced right now. The non-public team is in the white jerseys, and let's talk about some of these players, Mark, that we're going to see tonight. I mean, at the quarterback position, you've got Anthony Butler from Roman Catholic, Michael Netkowski from Penn Charter, and then Rob King from Father Judge. Three very capable quarterbacks for the non-public team.
Yeah, certainly, and Rob King is a kid I really want to watch play here. Going to UConn, he's going to play defensive back there. Temple was hot on his heels for a while on the recruiting trail. I'd like to see what he has to offer. I know he had a great season this year for Father Judge.
Yeah, so and then you had Butler. Anthony Butler's an interesting case because pretty good quarterback at Roman Catholic, good size at 6'3", 225. Only 7 touchdowns, though, and that kind of, again, is a product of who Roman is playing. They're playing St. Joe's Prep and LaSalle and Father Judge, and also who is around him. But he's a kid, given the right weapons, he could really provide some fireworks tonight. Yeah,
just watching the teams come out and warm up earlier, I looked at number 12 in white, and I thought, who's that kid? You know he's a player. He's got the body type. He's got the prototypical size you're looking for in a quarterback at 6'3". I would love to see what he has to do as well.
And then you take a look at some of the other skill players. The guy that really jumps out at me, Mark, Raheem Speedy Blackshear, the Archbishop Wood running back, decommitted from Temple with the change in the coach there, now going to Rutgers. And this kid is just that typical Archbishop Wood running back we're used to seeing with so much speed and running behind a great offensive line.
Yeah, this is a young man Michigan State had interest in his recruiting process. I mean, he can do it all. I think he could kind of be like a scat back type, a running back.
He can really do anything. I mean, that's the bottom line. And you take a look at some other running backs. Cy Madden, too, from LaSalle. Very, very good player. And there's just skill players all up and down here on the non-public roster. And, something that you and I were talking about before the game, we were looking at the roster. No DeAndre Swift. No Mark Webb.
Right.
And, those are two guys going to Georgia. Webb went to Archbishop Wood, and Swift went to St. Joe's Prep. I'm sure you would have loved to see them here tonight, but it's kind of crazy that we're talking about all these great skill players, and the top 2 aren't even here.
Yeah, and you never know with these all-star games and things like that. Kids decide maybe it might not be in their best interest. Maybe their schools tell them it might not be in their best interest. But I see we got a couple of people in Georgia Bulldogs sweatshirts out here, so maybe we'll see them lingering around in the stands to catch a peek.
Yeah, perhaps. And the non-public team has been introduced, and now the public team wearing the green jerseys, they're being introduced right now. I'm Ari Bluestein. This is Mark Tribble, and Nasir Boykin is the guy that sticks out to me. Imhotep Charter quarterback. The Panthers came up 1 win short of a state championship, but Boykin, a very solid quarterback, only 6 feet tall, but he can certainly sling it.
Yeah, he could do it all. Kind of grew into that role, as I understand, quarterback-wise this year. I know he's had experience there, but really took control this year as they had another fantastic season. Dynamic playmaker.
And then you take a look at some of the other players. Imhotep Charter, Jeff Davis, Amir Lewis, Amir Brown, very good players. And then Del Val Charter, they're very well represented as well. The Warriors had a really good season.
Yeah, this seemed like at first glance the Del Val Charter and Imhotep Charter versus the non-publics. I think most of the kids were on the public team from those schools. But how about the year Del Val Charter had? As you mentioned, they had 19 kids signed to go play college football somewhere. That's amazing.
And when you look at the skill players, we talked about all the kids on the non-public team. Public team, you don't have the big names. You have Colin Washington also going to Temple. But where these teams are kind of equal, you look at the size of the team's offensive linemen, the public offensive line, they can certainly hang in the trenches with the non-public offensive line, and a defensive line rather, and I think that really makes this anybody's game.
Yeah, anytime you have a couple guys and a few guys that are over 3 bills, you got a shot to clear some lanes, and on the other side to put some pressure on the other team's quarterback. So we mentioned earlier, when you get to the fourth quarter here, we'll see whose hog mollies are kind of pushing guys out of the way, and maybe the other side doesn't want to go against it too much more.
No, certainly not. Some of the guys that are over 3 bills, as you mentioned, 6'5", 315, Kyrie Wade from Delaware Valley, Del Val Charter. And then you take a look at 5'11", 325, Jalen Denby, the big man, the nose tackle from Imhotep Charter. Now, last year, the public team won this game. I believe the final score was 58-30. Kind of shocked everybody. Taking a look at the rosters, do you think maybe the non-public gets a little revenge this year?
Looking at it, I thought the non-public might have the better team, but who knows, Ari? I mean, that's why we're here, and like we said, this is a Pro Bowl type of atmosphere, so we never really know, if one team gets up, the other team might get tired of watching the other team score touchdowns, and
Well, it's certainly going to be a fun night no matter what. We'll probably see a lot of offense, maybe a little bit of defense too. The public team just about wrapped up being introduced. We're just moments away from the national anthem here at Charles Martin Memorial Stadium, and we are going to take a timeout here on the Sports Fan Base Network, and when we return, we will get things going with the Philadelphia City All-Star Football Game live here on Facebook. We'll be back right after this.
You.
Who, me?
You like pro sports?
Yeah,
You like college sports?
of course.
You like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Watch Varsity Voice every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN.
Get pain-free physical therapy. At PTW, we know that sometimes physical therapy can be tough and painful, so we do whatever we can to get you feeling pain-free again. Each one of our centers is equipped with an Alter-G anti-gravity treadmill or warm water therapy pool to unload your aching joints. From pre- and post-surgery rehab, fitness programs, and work injury rehab, PTW is your go-to therapy provider. Call or visit us online to schedule your PTW visit today.
For information about how to attend college full-time, tuition-free, and serve in the Army National Guard part-time, contact Master Sergeant Lee Page at 215-856-5965.
Bluestein, Michael & Company, certified public accountants, believe that your bottom line is as important to them as it is to you. Why? Because they care about the things that you care about. Whereas most accountants can take your numbers and put them on financial statements and tax returns, Bluestein and Michael work with you through the year to help you solve problems by providing sound professional advice. They enable you to make key business decisions, and they are with you throughout the entire year, not just tax time. Bluestein and Michael are not just hired hands. They are part of your team, and they provide professional service when you need it most. Bluestein and Michael specialize in accounting, tax, and consulting services for small businesses, primarily for the construction industry. If you're looking for yes men, hire someone else. But if you want sound advice from service-oriented CPAs, then you'll want to call Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200. That's Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200.
Welcome back to Northeast High School here in Philadelphia alongside Mark Tribble. I'm Ari Bluestein. The coin toss is done, and we are about ready to go. The public team, the Public League All-Stars in the green jerseys, the non-public All-Stars consisting of the Philadelphia Catholic League and Interact League in the white jerseys. And you know what the cool thing is about this game, Mark, is that, yeah, you're wearing the green jersey, you're wearing the white jersey, but everybody's wearing their own team helmet representing which school they are from. I really like that touch in this game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It gives you that little bit of personal identity. And speaking of that, Ari, I think this is a homecoming for you of sorts. Is this your alma mater?
Well, I'm pretty much here all the time. As those of you know who follow SFBN, we pretty much will come here once or twice a year to cover a game. But I love that I get to come back home here and broadcast a game. Been about, I don't know, 10, 15 years now.
Well, who's counting?
So it looks like Public will receive first. And got a couple of good players back to receive. Looks like Ezekiel Lopez from Frankford in the gold helmet. And then number 14, Amir Brown from Imhotep Charter in the black helmet back to receive. And kicking it away for the non-public, I believe, is going to be Sean Thompson, the Archbishop Wood fullback. This is a pro ball, but I don't know if there's any technically special teamers here. You know the way it goes in high school.
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
your fullback or quarterback is the kicker or punter. And it looks like it will be Sean Thompson that's going to kick it away for the non-public team. And we are underway here at Northeast High School. It's a high, short, spiraling kick received at the 20. And with some room to run, cutting it up the middle is Tamir Robertson. And returns it across midfield, and a great start for the public squad.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Robinson's pretty excited about it. He's already juiced up.
Well, I don't know about the non-public team, but the public team just they look forward to this game every year because they want to play against the best players in the area, and most of them are on this non-public team. Yeah,
sure, and they came out, they were loose. They were ready to go. Seemed a little bit more relaxed than the non-publics.
So we're going to start in the shotgun here. Oh, already some illegal motion.
Yeah, a little confusion up there, Ari. I mean, things like this, it's always kind of a grab bag to see what we're going to have in terms of procedure.
So move it back to the public side of the 50. So it'll be 1st and 15. Nasir Boykin is going to work out of the shotgun. 3 receivers split. 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Man in motion. And the handoff does go to Amir Brown. And he takes it down the far side, and he dives forward across to about the 45. So ends up being a gain of about 8 or so, and a nice clip there on 1st and 15, brings up 2nd and about 6.
Yeah, gets him out of the hole early, you know. You have that penalty, you don't want to start off on that foot. Give it to one of your best playmakers.
So 2nd down and 6.
I'm looking at Colin Washington at the top of the screen here, Ari.
Yeah,
big body.
Yeah. Man in motion, and the handoff goes to him. That's Ezekiel Lopez of Frankford, and immediately hit. That's a nice play inside by the non-public defense. And I believe that was number 32, Danny Green, the linebacker out of Conwell-Egan, on the tackle. Brings up 3rd and a short 4.
Yeah, a little barking, a little wolfing afterwards. You know, I'm sure all in good fun. Just let them know they're there.
Again, it's a little bit of a rivalry here. I mean, this is a big game. These guys haven't really played for a couple of months, so I'm sure they've been itching to hit somebody.
Absolutely.
So 3rd down and 4 for the public team. Boykin, his first pass attempt, and he's going to roll out, takes his time, goes to the opposite side of the field, wide open, is his high school teammate Amir Brown, and that's going to be a first down and a lot more. Wrestled down. The ball might have come out, though. The ball did come out. Who has it? And it's non-public football. Amir Brown fighting for extra yardage, had it stripped, and non-public creates a crucial turnover.
Yeah, maybe trying to do a little too much, but yeah, that was an excellent play. I mean, great blitz pick up there on the backside, and obviously the throw down the field to a wide open man. But yeah, like you said, they haven't been playing for a couple of months.
Let's check out that last replay here. And Boykin went for his first pass attempt, and it was a nice play.
Yeah, you could see that mobility, getting around on the edge, looking down the field, find the wide open man. Great play by him.
So now in at quarterback for the non-public team to start things off. Looks like it's going to be Mike Netkowski, the Penn Charter 4-year starter. And he scoops it to who else? Speedy Blackshear. But he doesn't have a lot of room. He was chased out of bounds by a number of public players, including number 6, Tamir Robertson, who had that great return to start things off.
Yeah, and Blackshear had a little something to say to him after the play. You could just see the jump from Blackshear. I mean, he is just a quick twitch runner. Can get around that corner.
So 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard gain from Blackshear. A little bit of confusion here on the non-public side. Trips to the right. Netkowski, the southpaw, slings it. And a nice job in the open field. Cy Madden, the LaSalle running back, on the reception. But Kayshawn Patterson, the 6'1", 200-pound defensive back from Martin Luther King, with a beautiful play in the open field.
Yeah, you know, the blitz came off the side there, forcing the rollout. And for a left-handed quarterback, that's not an easy rollout to your right. But nice job of dumping it off. Defense stayed tall.
So a loss of 1, 3rd and 8 upcoming here for the non-public squad. They're going to work out of the shotgun. Netkowski directing traffic, trips to the left, 4 receivers, single back. Here comes the pressure. Netkowski steps up into the pocket. It's picked off. Boy. It's picked off by the public team. It's Robertson again, and he dives across the 5-yard line. How about Amir Robertson? He has been everywhere so far here, Mark.
Yeah, and he read it all the way. I don't know that there was much of a window to throw that ball in the first place, but Robertson certainly just decided he was going to jump in the pass and there. Excellent job reading the eyes of the quarterback.
Let's take a look at that last play. A beautiful play there by Robertson, and Netkowski tried to thread the needle, but Robertson read it all the way. So the team's trading turnovers here to start things off in the first quarter. So now it's 1st and goal from the 4. It's going to be a wildcat option, and trying to dive inside was number 13, Amir Lewis. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage, but not a lot doing on that play.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ari, I think we've seen, I don't want to say jitters, but a little rustiness, these 2 early turnovers.
I mean, that is certainly the case. As we mentioned in the open, these guys haven't played football for a couple of months. You know, they're itching to hit somebody, but like you said, the rust definitely showing so far. 2nd and goal from the 4. And the public team setting up in the power I. Looks like a double tight end set here, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Boykin is under center. Gives it to the deep back. It's Lewis again trying to push his way forward. Flag comes flying in. And no signal as to a touchdown. It looks like he will be stopped short of the line, but let's take a look about this penalty. What do you think here, Mark? You think we got a hold here?
It certainly could be. It was interesting. Now it looks like it might be against the defense.
Well, the public team is signaling that it's against the non-public.
It was an odd time for a holding call.
Oh, a face mask.
There you go.
Okay, so it's a face mask against the non-public team. They'll replay 2nd down. I guess they'll move it up half the distance to the goal here. So it'll be 2nd and goal again, this time from the 2.
I'd think about sneaking it here, Ari. Just get the points on the board.
Would not be surprised here, although Boykin not getting under center, so that might take the sneak out of the option. Although you could see an option or a draw. And now we're going to have a timeout on the field, and the public team is going to talk things over. So we're going to take a timeout here on SFBN, and when we come back, the public league team trying to punch it in and start the scoring here in the Philadelphia City All-Star football game. Welcome back to Charles Martin Memorial Stadium and in Northeast High School in Philadelphia alongside Mark Tribble, Amari Bluestein. And after the public league timeout, they want to talk things over. Probably a smart timeout. We'll see if it pays off. Nasir Boykin in the shotgun. And it's a high snap, and what a great play to meet the runner in the backfield. That was big number 53, Michael Larson. The 5'11", 235-pound D lineman from Bonner Prendy. That's a big play. I guess the whole timeout didn't really work there, Mark, as we take a look at the replay.
Yeah, they found the same formation they were lined up in before the timeout, so maybe they were just trying to emphasize something, but it didn't really matter. Non-public came through with a lot of penetration on the inside there.
Now we're at 3rd and goal, back to the 4-yard line. What do you think, a rollout here from Boykin? Roll out to the left?
Yeah, I like something, maybe a bootleg option, maybe a tight end in the flat. It's plenty of space to work with on the top side of the field there, and let him make the choice.
Well, he's got 4 very good receivers on the field right now. Colin Washington, along with Amir Brown there on the far side. Then you have Cliff Brinkley, the big 6'3" receiver on the near side. This is a lob from Washington, and the flag is going to come out. That's going to be pass interference. The defender was all over Colin Washington. I believe that was Mark Kellum on defense there. But, I mean, that is not easy to keep up with the Temple recruit, Colin Washington.
No, and that type of size that we mentioned earlier, it's a tough matchup for anybody. And that ball looked to be a little bit underthrown, and that's not a problem in a fade route like that, especially in high school ball. You're going to get some clutch and grabs, and a lot of times you're going to get that flag.
That was actually Kadir Roberts, number 20, the 5'11" DB from Archbishop Carroll.
Yeah, it seemed like he just didn't turn his head to the ball, a little underthrown. 2 receivers over there, but like you said, the body size of Washington, I mean, he's an impressive specimen out there.
And like you said, Mark, never a bad idea to throw that route knowing that either it could be a touchdown or might get a call for pass interference. So you have some weapons like Washington. And now we have a stoppage here. And I'm not sure what that conversation is all about, but looks like we're good to go. There's our head coach for the public squad, Marcus Fulton from the School of the Future. Check that, Troy Gore. Troy Gore from Del Val is the head coach. Marcus Fulton is the offensive coordinator. Another flag flies, a legal procedure. And you know what, Mark? You're going to see that in this game, there are some special rules regarding formations, and if certain formations are not they might be legal in an actual game, but in this All-Star game, they have some special rules where certain formations are not permitted. So that's a lot of times what you're seeing is they're coming up to the line, and the officials are throwing the flag right away.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion as well. I mean, not everybody on the same page yet.
It looks like we've been within the 10-yard line here for about 10 minutes here, Mark. We got 4 wide receivers trips out here to the near side. Boykin in the shotgun. He's got time. Lobs it for the corner. And it is caught. No, he's out of bounds. It is completely out of bounds. bounds, and that was a nice play by Jeff Davis. And again, Boykin trying to connect with one of his Imhotep teammates there. A good play, a good catch, but Davis just could not stay in bounds. And we'll take a look at that last play on our replay.
Yeah, ran out of real estate there a little bit. Defender made the smart move, getting him out of bounds. And Jeff Davis, explosive player. This isn't exactly where I expect to see him featured down the red zone, but great kick returner, great speed. A big weapon for Imhotep this year.
Oh, no field goals here, Mark. We're going for it here on fourth. Here comes the pressure. Boykin flushed way outside. He's going to have to launch it opposite side of the field, and it is caught for a touchdown. And it is complete. Jeff Davis, the man that. Do we have a penalty here, Mark?
Well, I saw a helmet rolling around the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah, there was a flag on the far side of the field. Personal foul on the public team. Well, still, that was a heck of a play.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
That was a heck of a play.
That's the second time we've seen a rollout for the public team and a throwback across the field. Something they teach you not to do, but you know what? When you're as good as he is, when you're as good as Boykin is, sometimes it comes out your way.
So now we're going to have 4th and goal. This is going to be at least a 15-yard penalty, I would think.
Yeah, I would have to think it was illegal hands to the face, sorry.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a helmet rolling around.
I think I'm hearing over here that it is part of the game rule infractions here. And again, it goes back to the rules of this game. There are certain rules in place that are put for safety and for also the good of the game that they add. So it could have been hands to the face, but it could have been another rule that is implemented specifically for this game. So we're going to have 4th and 28. We need some Freddie Mitchell magic here, 4th and 26 magic. And
well, the way Boykin's been playing, I would think he'll roll out and maybe find somebody.
Boykin.
There he goes.
There he goes. Out of the pocket. Puts on the brakes. And he's out of real estate. Turnover on downs. And non-public's going to have pretty good field position at that at their own 40 after turning the ball over. And that'll give Mike Natkowski and this non-public offense to get back on track. What a stand by the public defense. Check that, by the non-public defense.
Yeah, and they had it down there at the 1-yard line. I mean, it seemed like a foregone conclusion, and that's what penalties will do.
So no score as of yet. And as we have a break here, a reminder that not only do we have myself and Tribble in the booth as Natkowski is back to pass, throws it deep. He's got a man wide open, overthrows Speedy Blackshear. How do you overthrow a guy named Speedy? I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, it looked like Blackshear might have got caught up a little bit trying to get through, lost his footing.
Oh, as I was alluding to, Mark, it's an honor to have you here with us, but we have our usual sideline reporter, Frankie Stokes, down on the field. We'll go to her from time to time, but I wanted to let everybody know that we have our sideline reporter, Frankie Stokes, down on the turf here at Charles Martin Memorial Stadium, and we'll hear from her in just a few moments here at Northeast High. But right now, Mark, we're looking for some offense. We thought there would be a lot of it, but not a whole lot as of yet.
No, not yet, Ari. Mistakes and turnovers so far.
And the shotgun. New quarterback in the game. And a good throw on the far side by Anthony Butler, the big quarterback from Roman Catholic. We talked about him in the open, Mark, and not surprised that we're getting a look at him because you really have options with Natkowski, Butler, and we didn't even see Rob King yet. But good throw there, and gets a good chunk of yardage to set up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, a little out route there, and he really throws it right along the sideline, so only his guy can make a play on the ball. That's a big-time throw.
So 3rd and 4 for the non-public team. The handoff goes inside. I believe that's Cy Madden. He can't bounce it outside, and that'll bring up 4th down. So we'll see what the non-public team wants to do. They have a decision here to make, Mark. It's kind of in-between territory in high school. I think the public team thinks that they're going to punt because Ezekiel Lopez has already come out of the field. Oh, he's heading right back. And he's back out. Sean Thompson, the fullback, he will do the punting honors as well here, Mark.
Yeah, I think they're going to be safe that there isn't a fake here, Ari.
Well, it's 4th and 5. And now we have a timeout called. And I believe it's an official timeout. No, check that. It's a public timeout as they take their second timeout of the quarter. We'll take a quick break here on SFBN. We'll be back with more Philadelphia City All-Star football action from Northeast High right after this.
Hey, you.
For me?
Yes, you. You like pro sports?
Yeah,
You like college sports?
of course.
You like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Hey, voice in the sky.
Huh?
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Just watch Varsity Voice every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN.
Fourth and 5 for the non-public team following the public timeout. Alongside Mark Tribble, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live here on the Sports Fan Base Network's Facebook page. And it is going to be a fake. Cy Madden gets it. It's a first down. A flag flies, though, on the near side of the field. Cy Madden dives forward just before the 20-yard line. Let's see about this penalty, Mark.
Yeah, this is the time for trickeration. You see it every year in these all-star games, don't you? But it will be against the offense.
And again, a legal procedure, a legal formation. Oh, 6 men on the line is the official call here in the press box. Well, a lot of yellow here today.
Yeah, a lot of yellow early on. I would imagine we're going to see a punt this time around, though, Ari.
Yeah, I would, I don't think they could pull. It was a nice fake.
It was
Just
beautiful.
couldn't have the 6 men on the line. So now it is a snap. Thompson will kick it away. Kind of a line drive punt, but decent. Lopez fields it, and he's got some room if he splits the D, but he can't escape. That's a really, really nice play on that one. That was number 24, Joe Hartley Vidioria, the 5'7" running back from Bonner Prendy. Really nice play because Lopez, if he gets past him, he might still be running.
Yeah, I think Bonner Prendy had a number of guys on the punt team. You talked about yellow. There were a lot of yellow lids out there for the punt team.
Yeah, I believe we saw, Hartley Victoria who made the tackle. And we also had Tommy Millison, number 34, in on the play as well. So now the public team will get the ball back, and they haven't had a ton of offense, but they were in the red zone, but could not punch it in. Boykin remains at quarterback, hands it off inside. Some room, cutting it up inside. And a nice play there. That was 22, Khalil Nelson, the 5'9" back from Mastery Charter North on the carry.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players here, Ari, for the simple fact that this kid is a 3.8 GPA, National Honor Society, community service, wants to be an engineer. It's great to see players like that also succeed athletically and in the classroom.
Yes, of course, as we always say here on SFBN, in the work in student athlete, of course, student is first. We think of them as athletes more, but yes, they are students more of the time than athletes. High snap, Boykin grabbed it. He's just going to dive forward and get maybe a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage, but not a whole lot you could have done with that, Mark. That was probably the best play Boykin could have made.
Yeah, he made a little bit out of nothing there, and that's what makes him a special player. And we've seen it already this game. Sometimes some things break down, and he's able to, either make a big play or, like you said, keep it above water.
So 3rd and about 5 now. I'll make it a long 4. We'll see what the public can do. Again, 4 wide receivers. They've got the big 6'3", 210-pound Cliff Brinkley, bottom of your screen from Overbrook. Boykin is looking to the near side. Now he may run with it, but he stays along the line of scrimmage, running and completes it. And staying in bounds is number 24, Kashal, 5'7" running back from Simon Gratz. Really nice play by Boykin to keep the play alive.
Yeah, and Carter was down in the goal line set there when we were down here a little bit ago, and he's not the biggest kid. He's very skinny, very slight, but can certainly run routes, found the sideline there, helped his quarterback out.
He just take a look at that last replay. Really nice play by Boykin, and a nice find and a good job staying in bounds by Kashaw Carter. Boykin back in the shotgun, going deep down the seam, and it's overthrown, intended for Jeff Davis. And Boykin took a little bit of a hit there. Some pressure being applied by number 56, Anthony Diodato, the big 6'5", 265-pound lineman from Archbishop Wood.
Yeah, and the pressure saves a big play there, I think. If Boykin hits Davis in stride, there's nobody back there. I think we're seeing the familiarity that these receivers from Imhotep have with Boykin.
Right.
They kind of know when he breaks stuff off, where they're supposed to go, and where he likes to throw the ball.
Boykin again working out of the shotgun. Hands it off inside, and then a nice job on a nice play. Number 44, Cyree Boggs from West Catholic, making the tackle on the ball carrier. And that time the ball carrier was 34, Terrell Brent from Mastbaum.
Yeah, and we've seen these defensive lines so far today really do a good job, Ari.
So 3rd and 11. Boykin back to pass. Throws it deep down the seam. He's got a man, and jumping up and grabbing it is number 14, Amir Brown. Nicely done. And we're going to send it right down now to our sideline reporter, Frankie Stokes, who is standing by with Maurice McCray from Delaware Charter. Frankie?
Maurice, we talked about this game back at Photo Day. How does it feel that it's finally here?
Feel cool now. Back on the field, loosen up now. Now I'm just ready to make plays.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, back to you.
Thanks, Frankie. And Frankie will be down on the sideline talking to some players here and there. And, it's an all-star game. So these players, like you said, he's starting to feel a little bit loose. It's not the intensity of a publicly championship game or whatever. So we'll go down to Frankie every now and then, and she'll talk to some of the players. And Frankie did a great story on our website, vsfbn.com. She went to Photo Day, which is a big tradition for this game, where the players, they get in their uniforms, get photos, talk to the media. It's really a lot of fun. Here's a direct snap now as Boykin came out of the game, went to Amir Lewis, and basically no gain on that one. And here we are again, Mark. We're down basically inside the 10, and the public team could not capitalize last time. Let's see what they can do this time.
Yeah, and going back to the play that got him down there, Ari, that was a tremendous throw by Boykin. He saw the short side of the field open where he could get it to Brown and threw it off the back foot under some pressure. That was a great. Looks like Boykin will take a shotgun snap here. Keeps it. Loses a couple. The defensive line, Ari, the defensive lines for both teams have been pretty flawless today. Even on these long passes that there've been, there's pressure right in the face. They're gobbling up the runners as well.
Take a look at the non-public team and the white jerseys, and they haven't had a whole lot of success here today against this public defense. But now the public team find themselves in a 3rd and long, and they got to get to the goal line. Again, could they stall again here at this end of the field? Boykin rolling, taking his time. He's going to take off with it, and he gets inside the 5, and this is essentially territory for this team, so not a bad play there to at least gain some yardage and make it a manageable 4th down.
And here we go again, Ari. Again, the public team is right down here, right on the doorstep. They've come away with nothing so far. This is an even game. It hasn't been played evenly. Public's had their way, but they can't get it in the end zone.
Well, believe it or not here, Mark, we are coming down to the final minute here of the first quarter, and it's still no score.
Yeah, it looks like Brandon DeShields, the tight end from Dobbins, checked into the game, number 88. Let's see if maybe they can get something with him or maybe run behind him. A couple tight ends.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be split out here to the near side in that off-white silver helmet. Boykin is under center. The handoff bouncing to the outside. It's a race to the goal line. No flags on the field. Touchdown, Public. We're finally have something on the board here, Mark.
Yeah, and I said earlier, Carter is so slight. Kashawn Carter down there, the Gratz running back. Here, I think it helped him. A little bit Darren Sproles-esque, really, hiding behind the line. The next thing you know, he pops out, got the whole side of the field.
I wasn't going to pull out any comparisons as we take a look at the replay, but I almost wanted to compare Nasir Boykin to Michael Vick a little bit earlier. Similar style, the lefty, similar size. But, yeah, Carter, at 5'7", obviously you think of Darren Sproles. You think of the little guy. But he did a great job of realizing there was nothing inside, and then it was just a foot race to get to the outside. Plenty of real estate here on the near side. And, no kicker here for the Public League. I guess they have somebody who can kick the ball off, but they're going to go for two here with under a minute remaining here in the first quarter. And we have another timeout. Is this the Public League's third timeout? I don't know if they get 3 timeouts like in a regular high school game. But another timeout to try and get the 2-point conversion ready.
Yeah, and back to what you said, Ari, when you have a guy like Carter, who's he's not just 5'7", he's 170 pounds. Looks like soaking wet, he's 170 pounds. So it's hard to find him. He's not going to run between the tackles down the goal line.
You take a look at the Public League team and being talked to by their head coach, Troy Gore. Did a great job with Del Val Charter. In the Public League, for about 3 years, Imhotep just dominated everybody. But this year might have been one of the first years where we had a second team, and that was Del Val Charter. They kind of stayed close with Imhotep and really had a pretty nice year.
Yeah, I think you'd have to consider this a signature season for that program right now, right?
Yeah, you very well could. Get something going. You're seeing a lot of that. Simon Gratz is a good program as well. They've got quite a few players here. Ben Franklin is always strong. So Imhotep obviously is head and shoulders above everybody else, but a lot of teams well represented here in this all-star game. So here we go again. After the timeout, Boykin is in the shotgun. Oh, and that snap goes way over his head, and he nonchalantly kicks it, and it's scooped up by the non-Public team. Oh, and we have a lateral. Flags are flying everywhere. But still on his feet and returning this one. This is Kadir Roberts. Is he going to make it all the way? Reverses field. Finally brought down by Amir Brown. Well, that was interesting, Mark, but we have about 4 yellow flags on the field as we take a look at this replay.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen a quarterback try to kick a fumbled snap unless it was out of the back of his own end zone or something like that. That was an odd play.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking a look at the replay right now. Yeah, that's great. The play was a little bit nuts, but hey, it's an all-star game. We're bound to see those type of plays.
Anything goes.
Well, believe it or not, if you're just joining us, that was actually a 2-point conversion attempt. So we're going to have a kickoff here for the Public League team. It's funny, they were lining up for the kickoff. I'm like, wait, what was it, a safety? What's going on here? I forgot it was a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, notice Boykin's not the one kicking off. He slightly missed that ball when he was trying to kick last ball.
Yeah, I don't think, even if he was going to be the one to kick off, I think after that, I think Troy Gore felt otherwise. Let's see who's going to be kicking it off. Trying to get a number here. Looks like it's going to be Jonathan Hodges, the Overbrook wide receiver. Speedy Blackshear back to return. It's a good kick. A little bit short, but high. And it's actually received by Terrence Green from St. Joe's Prep. And he is swirled around by a number of green jerseys. Great coverage by the Public team on that kickoff.
Well, he's lucky to hold on to the ball. He bobbled it. It was up in the air. He caught it just in time before he was hit by all the public players.
Well, as much as the public team hasn't really been able to punch it in the red zone, although they just did, the non-public team really does not look in sync right now.
No. They've been back on their heels field position-wise. And, aside from Blackshear, the play that they had him deep and missed him hasn't been much.
Nat Kowski is back in under center, hands it off to Sean Thompson, the Archbishop Wood fullback. And he dives forward, maybe gets a couple of yards, setting up a 2nd and 8.
Yeah, you get the sense they're trying to establish a little bit of rhythm here. Get a couple of yards, get a couple more. Try to convert a 3rd down and start this, they're going to start this second quarter here. They really got to get going.
Oh, we might be winding down to the final play of this first quarter. Nat Kowski in the gun with Thompson as the single back. 4 wide receivers split out. Nat Kowski, quick hit to the outside and a nice pass there to number 81, Alex Cole, the Bonner Prendy wide receiver, and he spun out of bounds, so clock stops with 4 seconds remaining. So we'll get one more play, but that's really the first nice pass we saw from Nat Kowski here today.
Yeah, again, put on the sideline to the short side. The hashes certainly helped him out. And here, you only need a yard. If you get that first down, then you head in the second quarter, you're feeling good. You got a little bit of something going on.
So 3rd and 1 for the non-public team, and what is likely now the last play of quarter number 1. Nat Kowski in the shotgun. He's going to take it himself, and he goes forward, and he's got the first down, and he is wrestled down as a helmet comes flying off, and that will end quarter number 1. So we're going to take a timeout, but the non-public team with a first down, and they're starting to get things going. And they trail the public team 6-0 here in the Philadelphia City All-Star football game. You're watching the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions. Welcome back to Northeast High School alongside Mark Triball and Maury Bluestein. 6-0 is your score. The public team leading the non-public All-Stars here in the Philadelphia City All-Star football game. And, last year, Mark, we had, about 80-some points scored. So far this year, only 6. Does it have to do with the weather, maybe? It's feeling like November, so teams are trying to slow it down? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. These overcast skies, maybe the kids do feel a little lethargic.
Well, now we reverse fields here. Nat Kowski in the gun. He's going deep down the near side. Oh, a perfect pass right in the hands, and it was dropped by number 25, Kayshawn Graham. Check that. I'm sorry, Matt Hoffman from Chestnut Hill Academy.
Ball probably should have been caught. Nice pass, floated out there, but great touch on that ball.
I think our own sideline reporter Frankie Stokes had a shot to catch that ball as well. She's right in the trenches.
Yeah, she looks ready.
2nd and 10. That was a beautiful ball by Nat Kowski, though. That's almost exactly where you want to put it.
Certainly. And got enough loft under it.
I turned it off.
She waved to the camera as we cut away from her. That's the way it goes here on SFBN. We have a timeout here on the field, and again, the officials discussing things with, looks like they're talking to some game coordinators here.
I think the officials were anxious to get back on the field as well. Get involved early.
Well, again, it was an illegal formation. This one was against the defense, though. For the public team, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for the non-public team. Again, the non-public team consisting of the Philadelphia Catholic League and the Interact League in the white jerseys, and the Philadelphia Public League kids in the green jerseys. Natkowski in the shotgun. 4 receivers, trips to the far side. It goes to Speedy Blackshear. First down and more. Oh, and a big run. And he knocked over number 6, Tamir Robertson. Maybe a extracurricular activity, and a flag flies.
You know, Robertson's been in the middle of everything so far, so it makes sense he was involved in that collision. He right at Blackshear.
I'll take a look at the replay here, and it was a really nice play. A nicely designed play to get the first down. A good pass by Natkowski. Good job by Blackshear. But the extracurricular activity, it will be a unsportsmanlike conduct on the public league team. So we're going to walk it off 15 yards here, Mark.
Yeah, and you talked about the play's design. Really, they send the receivers in and create a pick without creating a pick there and let Blackshear get out to the open space.
So the non-public team will have the ball on the public 34-yard line. A lot of discussions between the officials and the coaches. We've got a good crowd here at Charles Martin Memorial Stadium. As the non-public fans on the far side, and right below us here on the press box are the public fans, but I'm sure there's just a number of general high school football fans, including myself, here in the building today.
Oh yeah, and that's why you're grateful that it's not as hot as it was yesterday.
Yes, that is true.
You know, kids can come out and see the game instead of staying in the air conditioning.
Natkowski in the shotgun again. Hands it off. Thompson wrapped up and met right at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by the public league defense. And first on the hit was Maurice McCray, the linebacker from Del Val Charter, who actually just spoke with our own Frankie Stokes a moment ago.
I think he's playing for another interview, Ari.
He could be. Well, as he said with Frankie Stokes, he is nice and relaxed, and that was a really nice play. So now it sets up 2nd and 9 for the non-public team. But they are finally in public league team territory. And before the play can develop, and Natkowski get dropped to the ground. No flag on that, but it is an illegal formation on the non-public team. I remember last year, Mark, when I did this game, my partner was Harry Mays from 97.5 The Fanatic. We were amazed at all the flags that were thrown. I think that's just something that happens in this type of game that tries to limit what you can normally do with the illegal formations. You're just going to get a lot of penalties.
Yeah, the rust doesn't help, and you get out here with different rules. You're playing with guys you never played with before. It's all part of the game.
Natkowski throws it up. Maybe a little bit of alligator arms right there from Colin. Check that from Amadou Barry. But that's maybe the second or third time we've seen a nice ball from Natkowski, and his receivers unable to come up with it.
You know, the public team seems content to play press coverage on the outside with not much help over top. If you win your battle, you should be there. I thought maybe we'd see him lay out for that ball. I think if you're talking the regular season, maybe he does.
Yeah.
But it's close. So and yet another flag.
3rd and 14. Check that. 3rd and 9. Did they pick up the flag? That might have. Well, it's spotted 3rd and 9, so we'll go with that here, Mark.
Yeah, it looks like Anthony Butler checked back into the game too, Ari. He's going to take the snap.
Trips to the near side. switch up at quarterback here as Anthony Butler is back in the game. And he's going deep down the near side. He's got a man. It's caught. It's a touchdown and no flags on the field. Caught by number 25, Matt Hoffman, the wide receiver from Chestnut Hill Academy. So he dropped one earlier, and he catches it when it counts here, and he finds pay dirt, and we are knotted up at 6. We'll take a look at that replay.
Again, our man-to-man coverage, press coverage, nobody over top, win your battle. The kid won it earlier. Earlier this drive, dropped the ball. They bring Butler in. He knew where he was going with the ball immediately. That was not a read play. He's not looking anywhere else on the field. Finds his guy and hits him with a great pass.
And coming in to kick the extra point, looks like it'll be Sean Thompson. And it's interesting how the non-public team is kind of going in and out. They're going with Netkowski, and then they're going with Butler certain plays.
I'm impressed with Butler's arm strength. I really am.
Thompson, with a nice leg, boots it straight through. And the non-public team with a 7-6 lead.
Yeah, that pass from Butler was on a line. Right to that forward pylon there, Ari. Really a nice play.
And today we are brought to you in part by Rita's Water Ice. And Rita's Water Ice from Warrington, PA in the house here tonight, selling water ice. Not a very warm day to be selling it, but we always love our friends at Rita's. Make sure you check out your local Rita's location, especially if you're in the Warrington, Central Bucks area. They are right on 611, right near Street Road. Rita's Water Ice in Warrington, one of the proud sponsors of today's broadcast here on SFBN of the Philadelphia City All-Star football game. 11:05 remaining here in quarter number 2, and each team with the score, and of course one more with an extra point. So the non-public has the lead. So not a surprise as to how competitive this game would be in terms of how close the score would be, but I think we expected a couple of more touchdowns by this point in the game, Mark.
Yeah, I think so too, and those would have come on the public side, down the red zone a couple times there. A little bit of edge to this game so far.
Short kick for Thompson, and now Robertson reversing fields, and a nice hit and dragged down by Joe Hartley Vittoria again. The Bonner Prendy man really making his presence felt here on special teams.
You know, he rushed for over 1,000 yards this year, had 9 touchdowns, but there he shows what he can do on special teams. Just it was like a buzzsaw coming down there.
So now the public team gets it back after giving up that non-public touchdown. And Nasir Boykin remaining in at quarterback.
This is the first time they've had poor field position, Ari. Let's see if they can maintain something here.
And the handoff goes to Amir Lewis. Not a lot of room. Gets up to about the 25, gain of maybe 2, setting up 2nd and 8. So now Boykin will come out of the huddle. Now he's going to go back to the shotgun. And he's been in shotgun for a majority of the time here. Although now, no, check that. He's going under center again. Handoff. And again goes to Amir Lewis. And another flag.
I think that's going to be a formation. I think we might have had a false start there on the outside receiver.
And that is indeed what it is.
Let me tell you here, Ari, Clifford Brinkley from Overbrook is over there on the sidelines. 6'3".
Yeah.
Big kid. I want to see him go up and get one.
Well, he's been on the field a couple of times, but Boykin hasn't really looked his way. I would like to see him go up and get one, too. Because, you look at Colin Washington, he's a physical guy, but he's 6'1".
Yeah.
I mean, he's still, good size. But, yeah, I mean, we've seen him on the field, Cliff Brinkley. I would like to see him get one, too. But Boykin hasn't really looked at him. Now he is rolling out, throws it to the near side, caught. And the foot stepped out after the catch was made by Amir Brown. So, again, going to his familiar receivers here, and that's going to be a first down for the public team.
Yeah, and on the top of your screen there, Ezekiel Lopez, I think they were originally trying to go to him on that play, had an isolation route. He got held very clearly. He made sure the referee knew it after the play.
Yeah, Lopez is out there to the far side, while Washington and Brown are here to the near side. Split back formation with Terrell Brent and Khalil Nelson. Now the man in motion was Brown. Boykin back to pass. Finds Brown, caught it with one hand and then dropped it. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Still a pretty play, but you know what though, Mark? I don't really like that play call. You're going to the opposite side of the field. Not a lot of room to run over there, but still almost a pretty good catch there by Brown.
It was an unbelievable effort that he even brought it in. Looked like his left hand, one-handed, pulled it down and just couldn't quite corral it. He's been impressive. He's been very impressive.
Yes, yeah. I mean, these Imhotep guys can play. We've seen Amir Lewis. We've seen Amir Brown. Obviously, we've been talking about Boykin. Not even had a chance to mention the big offensive linemen who are in this game from Imhotep. 4 receivers, 2 split out to each side. Boykin's going deep. He's got a man, and it is caught in coverage. A beautiful pass and a beautiful catch. That was Jeff Davis again. Talk about a great play, because that was a pretty well-covered play by Dan Freeman, the DB from Archbishop Wood, but a beautiful pass by Boykin.
Yeah, and that's the type of speed Davis has. That's why he was so good in the special teams game this year. He got behind everybody. A great pass, a great catch. You could tell that these two are used to working with each other.
So Boykin in the shotgun. That's a big play that this public team needed to get in position to potentially take this lead. And falling down while running was Nelson. He had a little bit of room. And a gain of about 5 when it's all said and done. I don't know what happens there if he doesn't fall down, but a nice little run there on first down.
Yeah, and I would say that long pass was probably the play of the game so far.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, because you even mentioned, Mark, that was the first time the public team kind of had, rough position, but Boykin stayed for it and allowed a deep pass. Boykin again in the shotgun. Single back is Khalil Nelson. The handoff goes to Nelson. Grabbed, brought down. Great play by the non-public defense.
I would think if Boykin went back and watched that, he would be upset he didn't keep the ball. Had the end crash down there. If he tucks it, he might go all the way.
Looked like that was Keenan Baines, the first one on the scene, who grabbed him in the backfield. 6'3", 295-pound D lineman from Conwell-Egan. So 3rd and 8.
Okay, Cliff Brinkley's in the game. Do we see a fade?
Well, I know you want to see the fade.
Absolutely.
Right now he's in motion. He's on the line kind of like a tight end. Boykin, again under pressure. Lobs it for the end zone. Almost caught, but the flag's going to come out. That's going to be pass interference on the non-public team. And it looks like that was 26 Mark Kellum, the Father Judge linebacker, who got a piece of the public team receiver. That'll be a pass interference first down.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Kashawn Carter, who would have had his second touchdown of the game had it not been interfered with. There they did have Cliff Brinkley run off the backside, and he was open, but so was Carter.
You need Brinkley as a equal, because he's 6'3". Obviously he stands out, if he draws a defender and a safety, then you're going to have somebody else open.
Yeah, Carter does a tremendous job. I mean, this kid is so well-rounded.
So Boykin in the shotgun. It is an automatic first down, 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Handoff goes inside Nelson. A great job to cut up inside. He dives forward across the 5, gets to about the 3. Nice run by Nelson.
This would make a big statement if they can get it in the end zone here, Ari. Started back here, didn't have a great return. To move down the field with a big play, big penalty, puts them down here in range.
Well, this time the give goes to Nelson again. Basically just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Good job by the non-public D. Clock is stopped. Might have an injured player here on the field. Seen quite a few helmets pop off here. That time it was the helmet of number 55, Dom Carey, the D lineman from Father Judge.
Going back to what you said earlier, at least it's their own helmets. It's a little bit easier to find it.
that is true.
We have
we
have not seen any design stuff for Boykin here. Not in the red zone. No rollouts. You wonder if they're kind of holding on to that for when they really need it.
Well, other than that first red zone opportunity, they've done a pretty good job so far. Boykin dragged down. Oh, that was a face mask, I think. And Boykin just gives it up to Nelson. And he's tackled out of bounds inside the 5. But I think I saw a face mask there, and the flags are on the field.
Definitely a face mask. But there we finally saw the bootleg, right? And to make something out of nothing there. Boykin's tremendous player.
Face mask is the call. So we'll refresh the set of downs for the public team. Alongside Mark Tribble, I'm Ari Bluestein. Our sideline reporter is Frankie Stokes. We'll hear from her towards the end of this second quarter. You're watching the Philadelphia City All-Star football game here on the Sports Fan Base Network's Facebook page. And the call was face mask, but it will not be a refreshed set of downs. Instead, it's just going to be moving half the distance to the goal, and we'll replay 3rd down. And we have a timeout on the field before that play. And it will be a non-public timeout. So we'll step away real quick for a 30-second break. We'll be back. We'll see what the public team can do and if they can punch it in right after this.
Get pain-free physical therapy. At PTW, we know that sometimes physical therapy can be tough and painful, so we do whatever we can to get you feeling pain-free again. Each one of our centers is equipped with an Alter-G anti-gravity treadmill or warm water therapy pool to unload your aching joints. From pre- and post-surgery rehab, fitness programs, and work injury rehab, PTW is your go-to therapy provider. Call or visit us online to schedule your PTW visit today.
Alongside Mark Tribble and Larry Bluestein, welcome back to SFBN's presentation of the Philadelphia City All-Star Football Classic. Just over 6 minutes remain here in the second quarter, and the public team trailing the non-public team 7-6, but they are knocking on the door. And we have a 3rd down, but, for all intents and purposes, this is essentially 2nd down because we're in 4-down territory, no doubt.
Yeah.
Boykin under center. The handoff. Racing to the outside. Going for the pylon. It's a touchdown. Amir Lewis on the carry. That was a hard-earned touchdown. He went a long way to get a 2-yard touchdown, but public is now up 12-7 with under 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, a little nice bounce out there, and certainly a great day to be wearing red and black.
I like the little Northeast reference there. We'll take a look at that last replay, that last touchdown for the public team. And not kicking it as per usual, and we'll line up for the 2-point conversion.
We had quite an adventure on the first 2-point conversion, Ari.
Yes, we did.
Let's see if they've perfected it.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us, the 2-point conversion was almost returned the other way by the non-public team, but flags were flying everywhere. Boykin in the gun. He's going to take it himself, trying to bounce to the outside. He's got a couple of blockers in front, but great pursuit by the non-public team. Helmets come flying off. Richard Carr, the St. Joe's Prep defensive back, was first to get by the blocker and wrap up Boykin. There is a flag on the far side.
Yeah, we talked about Cliff Brinkley. He's out there on the edge with another guy. Boykin really, that's a penalty on defense.
It is unsportsmanlike conduct.
But back to that, Ari, if Boykin's got to put his foot in the ground and go. Got to turn it up at some point.
Right. I mean, it's worked a couple of times on the 2 touchdowns that the public team had, but you're right. I mean, sometimes you go for the pylon, sometimes you cut it up. And I think that time he should have realized, you're right, to cut that up there. And we're going to have a kickoff. The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was added onto the kickoff. So the public league team will be kicking from the non-public's 45-yard line. You don't see that happen too often, kicking from the opponent's territory.
No. This is where something tricky could always happen. You never know. Squib onside. We'll see how it bounces on this turf.
You have some flexibility because even if the non-public team recovers an onside kick, still won't be terrible field position given up. It's just a straight kickoff. It's a short one. It goes to Blackshear. Through traffic, bouncing off a couple of defenders, and he dives forward just inside the 25-yard line. So Speedy saw a lane, but it closed up pretty quickly with those green jerseys. A nice job by the public league special teams yet again.
With the exception of a couple plays, Ari, I think the public teams played very, very well.
I would agree with you. I think defensively they've played very well, and they have not allowed, except for that one big play on the touchdown, have not really allowed the non-public to do a whole lot. Natkowski back at quarterback for the non-public team. 3 receivers, 2 split out here to the near side, single back. Natkowski hands it off to that back, and it's Cy Madden. He's got some room to run up inside. First down and a lot more. Off to the races is Cy Madden, and he's dragged down from behind. The ball came out, but Mike Crawford can just keep on running. It's whistled on down, and we're going to go down now to our sideline reporter, Frankie Stokes, and it looks like she has Nasir Boykin, the starting quarterback for the public team. Frankie?
Down here having fun. What?
Just having fun. My teammates around the city for the last time. Just having fun.
Okay, thank you. Ari, back to you.
Thank you, Frankie. So Nasir Boykin just having fun.
It's a lot more fun when you're winning, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more fun when you're winning right now, that's for sure. Nasir Boykin obviously having some fun, and it's the last time, like you said, it's the last time around with these guys. And he's known these guys for a long time, and now he's going to be going off to college and not going to be playing with any of his fellow Philly guys. You get a shot of Nasir Boykin right there on your screen.
What a run for Cy Madden, by the way.
Yeah. That is the type of explosiveness that he has. Natkowski going deep, looking for Speedy Blackshear, but well covered by Sheeron Whitaker, the standout defensive back from Del Val Charter. We've talked about Del Val Charter a number of times, and when you think of Del Val Charter, you think of Sheeron Whitaker and the year that he had, both on offense and defense.
Yeah, and let me tell you about Whitaker. Kid's going to New Hampshire. His Twitter bio says hashtag lack of worries. When you can play like he can, you don't have very many worries, Ari. Takes care of itself.
And the good thing about Whitaker is he translates to the next level because he is a very solid cover corner, and he's got good corner size at 6'1", 180, and he's still got some room for some weight gain, too. Get up to 190, and he's a little bit physical, too. I mean, he could end up being, an NFL draft pick one day. Cy Madden, and he is wrapped up. Nice job by Amin Black, the linebacker from Imhotep Charter. Cy Madden had a great run a moment ago, but he wasn't going anywhere on that one.
Well, and there's a reason Black led the team in tackles. You saw it right there. Cy Madden a couple plays ago broke some tackles, showed that physicality. Black wasn't having it. I mean, he dragged him down. That was an excellent tackle to limit that to, 2 yards?
Yeah, it might even only been a yard. 3rd and 9.
They called everything because I was right here on the sideline.
So the non-public team lining up. Nat Kowski remains in at quarterback. Tom Millison in the backfield from Bonner Prendy. 4 receivers, 2 split out to each side. Nat Kowski going deep down the far side. He's got a man. It is caught. No, it is incomplete. He dropped it as he fell to the ground out of bounds. That was Amadou Berry, the standout receiver from West Catholic. And again, Nat Kowski putting the ball where it's supposed to be put, and his receiver is not coming up with the play.
That's the second one Berry probably wants back. The other one he had in the seam, we thought maybe he would have laid out. He's getting separation. He's fine. He's getting open.
Right. Well, that's something that Berry does not have a lack of speed.
Yeah.
I mean, he is fast. Those West Catholic receivers, when you talk about Amadou Berry as well as his teammate Ahmad Kent, I mean, Brian Fluck, who's actually one of the main guys that runs this City All-Star football game as the head coach for West Catholic, he always gets those really fast wide receivers for that fast offense that they run.
Mm-hmm.
So 4th down and 9, non-public is going for it here inside the public 30. Nat Kowski rolls out, knocked away by Mike Crawford, the all-world DB from Imhotep, 5'11", 185, and the guy is physical and the guy is quick. Mike Crawford, one of the best defensive backs in the entire city, turns it over on downs.
Yeah, Crawford, another kid who's going to New Hampshire. I mean, between him and Whitaker, this might be their cornerbacks for the next,
Very well could be.
For the future.
And he's another guy that, as you get a good look at Crawford on your screen right now, he's another guy that you could see making a run to the NFL as well. He's physical. He's not as tall as Sharon Whitaker, only at 5'11", but he is an absolute playmaker. So the public league team gets it back after the non-public turned it over on downs.
What was impressive there, Ari, was his ability to play the ball at the point of the catch.
Boykin, under a lot of pressure, escapes the pocket, throws on the run. Deep downfield, a dangerous pass, incomplete, intended for Ezekiel Lopez, the Frankford wide receiver.
That was a flat-out jailbreak. 4 guys coming after him. I think if it was probably a lot of other quarterbacks, they would have been dropped for 10-yard loss. Boykin can get out and at least try something down the sideline, but throws it away and lives to throw another day.
Yeah, Dom Carey, Anthony Diodato, Keenan Baines were all coming after him. 3 white jerseys were flying after him this year. Boykin on that one. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Just about 4 minutes remaining here in quarter number 2. Boykin again escaping pressure. Again being chased. Throws on the run again. Incomplete. Could have possibly been intercepted. The intended receiver was Jonathan Hodges from Overbrook. But again, in on the pressure, Dom Carey, 6'2", 285 from Father Judge.
Yeah, he's going to play at Marist, Story. That looked like a replay, except I think 2 of the defensive linemen from the first time around were a little gassed.
There's
so we
Dom
only had
Carey.
2 guys.
Yeah, well, there's Dom Carey on your screen right there, as well as number 44, Cyree Boggs from West Catholic, who has also been a part of the pressure. But Nasir Boykin has had to throw on the run quite a bit here today.
Absolutely. It's been under duress, but really no big losses. I mean, he's been able to keep the ship going.
Yeah, he has the ability. He has the speed. He can escape the pocket. In the shotgun again. Back to pass. This time, the linemen are picked up. He's going deep. Lopez looking up, tries to come back and make the catch, but he was out of bounds. So that'll bring up 4th down and 10 here from their own 29. And I think now we will see a punt from the Public League team.
That was excellent defense, that drive by the non-publics. Got pressure. Really didn't let Boykin get comfortable. Not a lot of separation even there on the throw to Lopez. Cornerbacks did a good job. Nice stand for them.
Yeah, that time the Public League offensive line couldn't really withstand that pressure.
In that line for the non-publics, the defensive line is not overly big, but they're active.
Right. So back to punt is Amir Brown, and back to receive for the non-public team is LaSalle's Cy Madden. Good punt with some air time. It's muffed. Oh, and it's almost picked up by the public team. It's still loose, and then finally grabbed by number 9, Kyrie Bronson. We have a late flag come in, and I think it's going to be a helmet-to-helmet hit on the public. Let's take a look at that replay.
Amin Black is beside himself. He didn't pick up that fumble. He is furious with himself.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Wow. Definitely had a chance. And then here at the end, you see the helmet-to-helmet hit. And I think that's what the penalty is. Yes, it is a personal foul.
So how about that? I mean, you almost recover the muffed punt, and instead you get a personal foul. Really, it doesn't end up hurting the non-publics at all. It might even help them. Who knows if Madden even gets back that far.
That is certainly a good point. Almost like a good punt return there.
You know, beggars can't be choosers, Ari.
So the non-public team back to work. In at QB is again Anthony Butler, who has the lone touchdown pass for the non-public team. He hands it off to Ahmad Kent, who is met by a number of public league defenders. Nicely done by the pub. Number 3, Azadik De Jesus from Del Val Charter in on the tackle.
Well, Butler hands that ball off, and then Talib Adams from Ben Franklin, 235 pounds defensive lineman, hits him. Butler stands tall and then hits him back. Like, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, Butler, 225 himself.
Big guy, man. Great stature. We talked about earlier, just has the look of a quarterback.
Well, he's in there right now. 4 wide receivers, 2 split out to each side. Butler rolling, going deep. He's got a man. It's Blackshear. It's caught, and he tried to tiptoe down the sideline, but he ended up right back. But still, another big gain on a toss by Anthony Butler. Blackshear with the first big play of the game.
That's what, a 45-yard pass? I mean, right to the corner, feathered it in there. Butler is mighty impressive.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the replay right now, and just a beautiful toss to Blackshear. And again, we saw earlier Natkowski overthrew Blackshear. I didn't know how that would be possible, but you could see how much separation Blackshear had from his defender.
Yeah, you don't get that name by accident.
No, I would think not. Timeout on the field. This will be taken by the non-public team, so we'll step away with 2:37 remaining here in the second quarter. We'll be back here on SFPN.
information about how to attend college full-time, tuition-free, and serve in the Army National Guard part-time, contact Master Sergeant Lee Page at 215-856-5965.
Welcome back to Northeast High School. You're watching SFPN's presentation of the Philadelphia City All-Star football game. Alongside Mark Trimble, I'm Ari Bluestein. Pretty good game so far. Offense starting to pick up a little bit. The non-public team driving, and a nice little dive there to Thompson, but right on the case was our buddy Maurice McCray, or should I say Frankie Stokes' buddy, Maurice McCray, down on the sideline. What a big play by the linebacker.
He is enormous, isn't he? I mean, I would not want to run in his path.
You know, you say Anthony Butler looks like a quarterback, right? Big quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Maurice McCray, he looks like a linebacker. Maurice McCray, 6'2", 230. That's NFL-sized linebacker right there.
Going to Maine University, I believe.
Not a bad institution there. Another timeout here. And we'll keep it right here on SFPN. 2 minutes remaining. And, again, Mark, the offense hasn't really been there, but still has been an entertaining game, even though we haven't had a ton of big plays. We've had a lot of attempted big plays and some crazy plays as well, like on that two-point conversion.
Mm-hmm.
Still an entertaining game nonetheless, even though it's 12-7.
It's been highly competitive.
Yes.
Which is what you like to see. I think sometimes in a setting such as this, you worry there's not going to be defense, or that certainly has been the case. Defensive lines got penetration. They've hit hard all game. It's been like a real football game aside from all the penalties, I think.
Yes, lots of penalties. I've lost count at this point, Mark. So Butler is in the shotgun. Low snap, but he grabs it anyway. Throwing off his back foot. That's a dangerous throw, but it's way out of bounds. I guess Butler, even though it was an awkward throw, he knew that there was no chance that was going to be caught in bounds. That was intended, for Amadou Barry, but way out of bounds there by Butler.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Barry's had two balls in play that couldn't quite come up with. That one was a fantastic catch. He was just about 3 feet wide of the marker there.
Well, we got to put it all together then for Amadou Barry. Got to be inbounds with a big catch like that. I feel like it'll come for Amadou Barry. You're talking about a guy that had 56 receptions, 889 yards, 12 of them for touchdowns. That's some serious stats at the high school level.
I loved his compete level there, going for the ball. Going up and getting it. He's not overly big, but he played big on that one.
So 3rd and 11 for the non-public team. Anthony Butler in the shotgun. 3 receivers, 2 split out to the near side. Butler fakes the handoff on the run. He's dragged down on the blitz inside by Amin Black, the Imhotep linebacker. Well, he wanted that last fumble recovery he couldn't get back. Well, that time he made up for it with a big-time sack.
Absolutely. Look at the receivers that the non-public team had out there. I mean, I don't think they had anybody over 5'7". 3 little guys trying to get something on the backside rollout. Could have been there, but pass rush just got there in time.
Now, I think we had a flag come in. Oh, maybe not.
I think you're just getting used to saying that.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think I'm shocked more when there's no penalty on the field. So the non-public team let the play clock roll down. Now they called their final timeout with a 1:01 remaining. I'm guessing they are going to punt it here.
I think you have to. In all honesty, that was a play where you just couldn't take a sack. And that's exactly what happened. I'd punt it.
Our broadcast is today brought to you in part by All-American Sporting Goods, one of our great local sporting goods stores here in the Philadelphia area, just down the street from Northeast High School at Codman and Tabor. All American Sporting Goods. Check them out for all of your sporting goods needs.
It doesn't look like a punt. No punt here, Ari. Unless Butler's going to punt, which I guess is a possibility.
Well, I remember back in the day, Randall Cunningham had a deep punt for the Eagles.
Yeah, he wore 12 as well.
No, he's not punting. He's going deep. Look at that big arm going down the field. It is caught at the one. A beautiful throw and a beautiful catch. It's Matt again. Receiver making the catch between two defenders. How about that for that big fourth down play? Let's take a look at that replay.
He goes up and gets the ball, but how about the velocity Butler puts on it and where he puts the ball? Hoffman goes up and gets it over two guys, but I'm telling you, Butler's quite a player.
Well, he had a really nice career. And look at that throw. Big arm. And that's a beautiful catch as well. Again, between two defenders for Matt Hoffman. It's a touchdown for the non-public team as they now take the lead.
Yeah, Butler with the sneak there. Big body, future Morgan State Bear. Plunges in.
So the extra point upcoming here for Sean Thompson. And it is through. Now, that last catch, the big play, and also the earlier touchdown, we had credited Matt Hoffman with the play, but I think that actually that might be Mark Webb. I don't know. Mark Webb from Archbishop Wood. We have conflicting rosters here, Mark. I'm going to have to look into that at halftime.
Whoever it is has had himself a nice second quarter after a bumpy start. The drop pass that he short-armed along the sideline, came back, had a couple of the biggest plays we've seen today. Very impressive. Very impressive bounce back.
And the only reason I say that, Mark, is because they list Matt Hoffman at 6 feet 180. I don't think that receiver's 6 feet 180. I think he's a little bit bigger than that. I think it might be Mark Webb, but I could be wrong. I'm going to double check on that here. But that's the way things go in the All-Star games. You don't always have the correct rosters.
That's right. Come for the football, stay for the intrigue, right?
So 14-12 is your score as the non-public team leads the public team by 2. A line drive, low punt for Thompson, fielded on the ground by Black and then tossed back. Check that by Davis. Oh, and a big time hit again. And again, that was Tom Millison, the Bonner Prendy kids playing some great special teams. So 13 seconds remaining. What do you think? Do you see the public go for something, or are they just going to sit on it here, Mark? What do you think?
I think maybe you try to take a shot just because it's an all-star game. If you throw something far enough down the field, if it does happen to get intercepted, the odds of a run back are not likely.
We have a flag coming up here on the field. Not sure what this is all about.
12 men. 12 men.
12 men on the field for the non-public team.
It's easier to guard against that long pass with 12 guys.
It certainly is.
Legal.
They still have 12 men on the field. Oh, wait. Nope, they pick up the flag. Never mind. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Boykin. Oh, man, nobody came to block that pass rusher. And a quick pass to Davis. He goes out of bounds. That was number 53, Jalen Denby. No, I'm sorry, check that. Michael Larson from Bonner. He came in unblocked.
We're getting so used to watching Boykin have to escape pressure to go to the boundary. It almost seems like that's the offense.
Four receivers. Boykin with time. Goes deep. Down the seam. And it is incomplete. Well defended by Richard Carr. And 0-0 showing on the clock. And that'll be it for half number one. So your score at the break, the non-public team 14 and the public team 12. Both teams with 2 touchdowns. The difference being the extra points versus the missed 2-point conversions. We'll be back with more here on Facebook Live. You're watching the Philadelphia City All-Star Football Game presented by SFBN.
Of course.
You like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Watch Varsity Voice every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN.
Get pain-free physical therapy. At PTW, we know that sometimes physical therapy can be tough and painful, so we do whatever we can to get you feeling pain-free again. Each one of our centers is equipped with an Alter-G anti-gravity treadmill or warm water therapy pool to unload your aching joints. From pre- and post-surgery rehab, fitness programs, and work injury rehab, PTW is your go-to therapy provider. Call or visit us online to schedule your PTW visit today.
For information about how to attend college full-time, tuition-free, and serve in the Army National Guard part-time, contact Master Sergeant Lee Page at 215-856-5965.
Bluestein, Michael and Company, certified public accountants, believe that your bottom line is as important to them as it is to you. Why? Because they care about the things that you care about. Whereas most accountants can take your numbers and put them on financial statements and tax returns, Bluestein and Michael work with you through the year to help you solve problems by providing sound professional advice. They enable you to make key business decisions, and they are with you throughout the entire year, not just tax time. Bluestein and Michael are not just hired hands. They are part of your team, and they provide professional service when you need it most. Bluestein and Michael specialize in accounting, tax, and consulting services for small businesses, primarily for the construction industry. If you're looking for yes men, hire someone else. But if you want sound advice from service-oriented CPAs, then you'll want to call Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200. That's Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200.
Charles Martin Memorial Stadium here at Northeast High School in Philadelphia. Alongside Mark Tribble, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for watching SFBN's presentation of the Philadelphia City All-Star Football Game. Today brought to you by Rita's Water Ice and All-American Sporting Goods. And Mark, as we get back to action here, pretty evenly matched first half, and the score indicates as such, 14-12 non-public with a lead over the public team. What are your thoughts on that first half?
Well, I think if you're the public team, you got to be a little bit discouraged that you win the halftime down 2. I thought they outplayed the non-public team for most of the game. And, of course, the late score there by the non-publics gave them the edge. So, and now they're going to kick it off to them. So they really got to get going here.
And before we continue further, we just want to clarify one player, and that's Mark Webb is playing. He's wearing number 25. He's the one who had the touchdown, and he's the one who had the spectacular grabs. Because as we were watching it, we were saying, you know what? I think we had two conflicting rosters here, and just by judging how well number 25 was playing, we knew that it was Georgia commit Mark Webb.
Yeah, he certainly looked like an SEC caliber player in the first half. No offense to Matt Hoffman.
No, Matt
wherever
Hoffman
you are.
he did have a nice year, but he's not Mark Webb, that's for sure. Public league team kicks off, and it's a short kick, and the non-public receives it, but hit hard was Brandon Bertoli from Bonner Prendy. So pretty good field position for the non-public team on that short kick by the public team, and their kickoff man, Jonathan Hodges, who doubles as a wide receiver.
Yeah, let's see how things shake out here in terms of quarterback rotation, Ari, between Butler and still haven't seen Rob King,
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows if Rob King is even here, in fact, but it's basically been Natkowski with Butler. Natkowski's in the game. The handoff goes to Cy Madden, dives forward for a couple of yards, just across the 45 to about the 46, gain of about 3, setting up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, on the other side, Boykin's taken most of the snaps, a couple direct snaps to running backs, but he's been the only quarterback.
Yeah, and if you look at the roster, other than Amir Lewis, who is listed as a quarterback, but really is more like an athlete, the ATH high school position where you can play running back, receiver, a little bit of wildcat. Really, the only pure quarterback on this public league team roster is Nasir Boykin, and we saw a similar concept last year as well. I believe the public league team just went with one quarterback the whole way. Natkowski handoff again, Cy Madden, and he is met and pushed down. Whistles blow, flags are down. I don't think that play is going to count. But a nice job again by Maurice McCray.
Yeah, it looked like encroachment.
Yes, you are correct. That is the call. Yeah, it looked like the public team got a little bit too good of a jump on that one.
This is a good field position here, Ari. 2nd and 2, good time to take a shot.
Yeah, certainly. Instead, you stay conservative with the fullback, and Thompson is brought down behind the line. I guess that's not a play call that you would have called there, Mark, and it results in a loss of 1.
No, I would have liked to seen a shot down the field. You score here with a big play. Yeah, that could do a lot of harm to the public's cause.
Although there is another flag down on the field.
They've been everywhere.
Yes, they have. The only thing more yellow on the field than the flags are the Ben Franklin helmets, which you can see on the right side of your screen. There's going to be an illegal formation on the D. First down for the non-public team.
You can see Butler warming up over there on the sideline. I wonder if they'll bring him in when they're looking for that home run toss. He's been throwing it down the field a little bit more.
I mean, they're keeping him loose. I think they've obviously came in here with a game plan, know when they want to use Natkowski and know when they want to use Butler. Meanwhile, Natkowski going down the far side, and a flag comes in late. That's going to be pass interference. Looks like it's going to be on Isaiah Maples from West Philadelphia. And pretty good coverage, but he did get a little bit with the hands. And that was Terrence Green, the wide receiver for St. Joe's Prep.
You know, Ari, they're both hand fighting down the field. Unless there was a grab. I mean, come on. We've already had 60 penalties. I don't think we need another one on an overthrow. That's just me.
Yeah. 60, I don't think you're exaggerating on that number either. Well, you might be, but
maybe it's
still probably pretty close. It's pretty close. So on that pass interference, it's going to be a first down for the non-public team. Speedy Blackshear far side. Nice job to evade the defenders. A race to the end zone. And that's why they call him Speedy. Touchdown, no flags on the field. And the non-public team has their lead.
Just an unbelievable run there by Speedy.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that replay. We're going to have to see that one again. I mean, he just pretty much did that all himself. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But, I mean, he just got past a couple of tacklers, and he is so quick. Just a great job by Raheem Speedy Blackshear.
Yeah, you know, his ability to stay in bounds there. Break a tackle, hop inside, get back outside. Unbelievable play.
Sean Thompson in on the extra point. And it is no good. So it actually remains a one-possession game here, Mark. 20-12 is the score, so the public team can get right back in this with a touchdown and a two-point conversion.
Yeah, a couple big penalties on that drive really hurt the Publics. You had the procedure penalty, pass interference, and then Blackshear did the rest.
So now the public team will have a chance to answer. Thank you for watching SFBN's presentation of the Philadelphia City All-Star Football Game. And a reminder, you can go to our website, thesfbn.com, to find out everything about us. And we got a pretty big game that we're covering tomorrow. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we've been pretty busy here, Mark, this weekend in the Philadelphia area.
Every weekend, there's always something.
It's a high kick, kind of short. Oh, and there was a face mask grab, and there goes the flag again. And on the return was Amir Brown. And he had his face mask grab, so we're going to add on 15 to the return for penalty number 67.
One thing I love about Speedy on that play where he scored, sprints in, darts out, gets down the sideline. Then when he gets to the end zone, flexes the muscles. Not just speedy, but strong.
Well, he's, he might have a chance to have himself a pretty good career. Going to Rutgers. And Archbishop Wood has had a lot of good running backs go on to some good schools. Jared McClinton over at Villanova. Just to name one. Alex Arcangeli, a fullback. He's playing in the PSAC D2 ball. So Nasir Boykin of the public team back to work. The handoff goes to the man in motion, and a nice move. Good job by Hakeem Wilson, the 5'11 running back from George Washington.
Wilson, another one of these kids, not overly big. Smaller guy, skinny, but can really dart around the outside. These end arounds are good opportunities for guys like that.
So a nice run there. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Boykin in the shotgun. Man in motion, and it goes to that man. Nowhere to go for Amir Brown. And the whistles blow and pushed out of bounds on a nice play by a number of non-public players. And in on that play, number 9, Kyrie Bronson from Conwell-Egan.
You're looking at a really big third down here, Ari. I'm interested to see which receivers come into the game. You don't want to hand it right back after 3 plays, 4 plays. If I were a betting man, and sometimes I am, I would say Jeff Davis would be the guy to look for.
Looks like at our next opportunity, we'll head on down to Frankie Stokes on the sideline. She grabbed Mike Crawford of Imhotep. We'll go down to her after the next couple of plays. And actually, we have a whistle, and we believe we're going to have a timeout. So a perfect opportunity to head on down to our own Frankie Stokes, who again is down with Public League and Imhotep defensive back Mike Crawford. Frankie?
Okay, Mike, this is the final game of your high school career. How much does this experience mean to you?
This is a major experience for me. I have a grateful opportunity to put on for my city one more time, put on a show. I just want to leave out with a W.
And you get to experience this with some of your teammates as well.
Yes, it's like family, brotherhood. I built a bond with these kids through the last 4 years of my high school career. It's really my brothers, lifetime friends.
Thank you, Mike. All right, back to you.
Thanks, Frankie. And again, you heard kind of a similar sentiment from Nasir Boykin. You know, this is, not just another football game, but it's something special. Sure, it's your last game. You've been playing with these guys for a number of years, and like Mike Crawford said, these kids want a W. This is not the Pro Bowl, where nobody really cares who wins that game.
Right.
This is these guys want to win this game, and we'll see what Nasir Boykin, Mike Crawford's teammate, can do on this next play. Play action. Boykin steps up into the pocket, and it's caught by Ezekiel Lopez for a first down and a lot more inside the non-public 25, and a nice find from Boykin to Ezekiel Lopez.
Yeah, Jeff Davis this time. Not wrong on that, but found the ability to get open all game. Missed him a couple times. That was a nice little route across the middle of the field. And a big play for the public team. They needed that.
We'll take a look at the replay here, and a nice play by Nasir Boykin to hit Ezekiel Lopez. You see Boykin stepping up into the pocket and finding Lopez on the play. So Boykin in the shotgun. With time, goes deep to the back corner, going for Lopez, and he is way out of bounds, but it was a pretty nice play, and we have yet again another penalty flag and a little extracurriculars going on here on the near side of the field.
Well, Lopez, like Webb did in the first half, made an unbelievable catch, just too far out of bounds, but played the ball. Not a bad ball, actually, to the far side of the field.
Yeah, not bad at all. I mean, Boykin, Natkowski, as well as Anthony Butler have all made some really nice throws today. And the call is against the Public League team. Be a 5-yard penalty. I believe it was an ineligible receiver downfield was the call.
Now we're coming back with the bigger wide receivers. Cliff Brinkley back in.
That's your man right there.
Yep, absolutely. And Colin Washington also checks back in. And Jeff Davis in the slot.
Right, and then you have Amir Brown also in the slot at 5'9". Boykin, flag flies, going deep for Colin Washington. It is caught, and the signal is touchdown, but let's see about the flag. That one might come back. It is a hold for the public team. And I believe the call will be against number 54, Ari Long from Del Val Charter. We'll take a look at that replay. It was a great play, even though it's not going down.
Yeah, really nice play design. You take those little guys in the spots, run them up the middle of the field, use the big guys on the outside to kind of strip it out and throw it up to one of them. Penalties just killed the Publics here. I mean, last drive, it allowed a touchdown. Here, it's taking some yards off the board, really put them in a hole. They're 1st and 25.
Well, the good thing is it's 1st and 25, not 4th and 25, which we've seen that today. Or 4th and 28, I believe it was. Boykin in the shotgun. Looking deep. Fires it deep. Intended for the receiver. No flag. And will simply be an incomplete pass. Again, the intended receiver, Jeff Davis.
Absolutely pass interference out there. Jeff Davis running his route. That's where they were going from the start. He gets arm barred by a defender. You know, you miss calls, but that's what I meant about it earlier in the last drive. The hand fighting. Maybe not interference. That clearly impeding the route to the end zone.
We have the officials talking to some of the public league team players. It's getting a little chippy down there, Mark. Maybe that's what the officials are. And now they're actually talking to the non-public team. I think that was an official warning to cut out the chippiness after the play. And now the public league team calls a timeout. So we'll step away real quick with 6:47 remaining in the third quarter. The public league team trying to get back into it, down by 8. We'll be back. Welcome back to Northeast High School. We're at Charles Martin Memorial Stadium, the site of the Philadelphia City All-Star football game. Alongside Mark Tribble, I'm Ari Bluestein. And Mark, it's been a pleasure having you join me and Frankie Stokes, our sideline reporter, down in the trenches as well, talking to some of the public league team players. It's been a lot of fun, and looking for a little more fireworks here on this play, Mark.
Yeah, and you never know when Boykin's got the ball back there. All spread out.
Passes it, looking for... He had a couple of his Imhotep teammates available, Amir Brown and Jeff Davis, but kind of went in right in between the two receivers.
Well, and Kashak Carter, you know, the little guy from Gratz, slips out the backside, unaccounted for. Didn't quite see him. I want to go back to that timeout, Ari. The Public's coaches pulled the whole team off the sideline and talked to everybody. So, you know, if the refs did tell them they got to get their heads in the game, the coaches certainly reiterated that.
Got some movement up front. Probably going to be a false start on the Public. I'll push them back even more. 3rd and 30 now.
Lots of stoppages.
Yep.
If anybody drove up 95, they might be reminded of the road work today, this game. Stop and slow.
I feel like 95 is just the worst road in America. Boykin back. Escapes the pressure. Goes deep. And it is, nearly caught. There was some grabbing. No flag. The Public League side is going nuts. And now the flag flies as the Public League coach is halfway out onto the field. Wow. I think that's 2 pass interference penalties basically in the same spot that did not get called.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the coach and the flag right next to him. He's going to get the unsportsmanlike call. But you know what, Mark? I honestly can't blame him. I mean, that was a grab of the arm. It was a great pass, and it's the second time that the call wasn't made.
And we had patty cake going on the other side that did get cold.
Yes.
I hate to bring it back to that, but that factors into the coach's mind as well.
Right. So now, is it going to stay third down? Our scoreboard here at Charles Martin Memorial Stadium says 3rd and 45. No, it is going to be 4th because it happened after the play. So 4th and 45. I'm not sure if I've ever seen 4th and 45. And not only is it 4th and 45, they're going for it on 4th and 45.
I don't know why the non-public team is even pretending to play defense. So it looks like substitutions here.
Oh, no, wait. Now are they punting it?
Right in front of him. Take Cuddy behind you. Turn around, Roscoe. Turn around, Roscoe. Turn around and kiss him now, Roscoe.
Okay, I guess they are going to punt. I would have loved to see them try and go for it and get it on 4th and 45. Oh, it's a pretty good punt.
Great punt.
Some room to run for Terrence Green, but good coverage by the public team. I'll tell you what, 4th and 45, you don't really know. You don't have a punter per se, but that was a nice, very nice punt back there. I believe that was Jonathan Hodges who launched that one.
Yeah,
was it Hodges or a Brown? One of those two, but great job and great coverage.
Whoever it was did a fine job, almost being like a quarterback there. He had a rush coming off his right side and just stepped up and punted the ball.
Yeah, it was actually Amir Brown of Imhotep, but great job by him. So 1st and 10 for the non-public team. They've got an 8-point lead. And back in the game is Butler. Hands it off to Madden. Being chased. Pushed out of bounds. Nice job by the public team's number 9, Jameer Brooks from Frankford. The Frankford Pioneer getting into the action here.
This game started out as, I don't want to say an exhibition, but kind of a casual affair. And at this point, these teams, they don't like each other a little bit.
No, they don't. And the officials even had to warn them about being chippy. It's been a little intense. You know, you think all-star games are a little fun, more about offense, but this has been a pretty heavy defensive battle.
Yeah, it has been. Butler back in.
It's a little bit of the opposite of last year's game, that's for sure. 58-30, I believe, was the final score in favor of the public team. And now we have a timeout on the field. And it looks like the non-public team the public team is the one that called the timeout, I believe. Well, with 5:19 to play, we'll keep it right here. I want to remind everybody that our broadcast today is brought to you in part by Rita's of Warrington. Rita's Water Ice is here in the house selling water ice, and it's not that nice of a day here, Mark, but at halftime we went down and got some water ice. Some of our other crew went down there as well, and still was pretty refreshing. So we want to thank Rita's of Warrington for coming here into Northeast Philadelphia, selling water ice. And again, check out all your Rita's locations all around the Delaware Valley.
Yeah, it's certainly not a perfect day, Ari, but it's always a perfect day for water ice, right? The mango was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I had. I think some of the rest of our crew had the cherry. They had a blue raspberry as well. Although, you know what? I'm actually glad it was a cool day, because last year I went to get water ice at halftime, and they were out of water ice already. It was like 85 here on a Saturday night. Mike Netkowski in a quarterback for the non-public, rolls out and completes it to Terrence Green, the St. Joseph's Prep wide receiver on the far side. Decent gain, goes for about 5 yards.
Green's a talented kid. Going to Monmouth. Just another kid who has the looks of a player. Came out here warming up, his white headband on, had his white tights. I mean, he was an imposing presence.
And he's a St. Joe Prep Hawk, I believe. Monmouth, they're the Hawks as well, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
So he'll still be a Hawk for whatever that's worth. Butler now back in the game in the shotgun. And he hits Blackshear. Flag flies as Butler goes down to the backfield. And Blackshear trying to make some magic happen, but he stepped out of bounds near midfield. We'll see about the penalty here. And it's a personal foul. Rough the pass to the call.
I think when we saw that warning, Ari, or what we presume to be a warning from the officials, I think they eliminated the gray area right there and said if it's close, we're going to call it.
Let's take a look at that replay. It will count, and they will add the 15 yards on the end of the play, it looks like. It was a great run by Speedy Blackshear.
Yeah, that was not roughing the passer. It wasn't.
Well, like you said, they might start to call things a little tighter now after the warning.
Yeah, and this is an unenviable job, being an official. But that was not the correct call.
Nat Kowski hands it off inside. And the ball came loose. It was Khalil Wortham on the carry, the West Catholic Burr. And I think I heard that somebody said ball down there, but it will stay with the non-public nonetheless as Wortham crosses the public 35, gets to about the 34.
Yeah, and here with the public team, they really have to buckle down. Things have not gone their way this half. The penalties haven't gone their way. They haven't made their breaks either. It'd be nice to get a bounce, but you got to make your own luck, you know?
2nd and 7 for the non-pubs. Nat Kowski rolling, hits Thompson, gets past one tackler, past two. He's heading for the end zone, bounces off another, and it is a touchdown. What an impressive run. We saw Speedy Blackshear use the speed. That time, Sean Thompson used his strength to bounce his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and it's along the same sideline, Ari. It looked like he almost started the play a little bit early, but just had the snap count absolutely correct. According to the officials, gets the ball, blows off a couple defenders. Unbelievable run. When you do it,
heck of fullback for Archbishop Wood. And we see that head coach Steve Devlin does a great job over there in Warminster. They always have that big fullback, the Thunder, to complement that speedy back, the Lightning. They've done it for years, and this year it was Thompson and Blackshear. And Thompson's extra point, no good. Might have been a little winded there. We're going to take a look at that last replay, that last touchdown from Sean Thompson. But right now, you know, the public team, they were in control really for the first quarter and a half, maybe, or at least the first quarter. Didn't have a lot of points to show for it, and now the non-public has taken over, and they've got themselves a really nice 14-point advantage. And we just saw the replay. The one hit that he took, Thompson almost got flipped over, and he still kept his footing.
Yeah, he spins his entire body, uses his arm to brace himself. And not only is it impressive to stay up, but then to quickly get back on path. And at that point, nobody was stopping him.
So 3:17 remains in the third quarter, and it's been all non-public for about the last quarter and a half. And now Sean Thompson will kick it off.
Sean Thompson serving Ritas at halftime? I think he's done everything else.
You know what? He might have been the one that gave me my mango water ice, now that I think of it. Thompson with a high, short kick. It will be fielded at the 25, down the far side and hit out of bounds. And again, another big hit by Joe Hartley Vittoria And again, some extracurricular activity with the public team going over to the non-public side. But decent field position as you see the jersey starting to clear there on the non-public side. I mean, you would think this is like a state championship game or something the way these guys are playing.
Yeah. They've not let the event minimize the game of football at all. I mean, this is hard-nosed football today. No doubt about it. This is not two-hand touch.
It's basically the opposite of what we thought we would see, especially given what we saw last year. So the public team back to work here. And they led it 12-7, but since then, 19 straight for the non-public. Oh, and it's a high snap. Boykin's in trouble. He still can't get a grip on it. Ball is still bouncing around, and it's going to be recovered by the non-public team. It looks like that was Danny Bentley, the linebacker from Conwell-Egan, who eventually recovered it. And just when the public team needs to get something on the board, they give it right back.
Yeah, we'll see what the defense can do here, but it feels like the wheels are falling off for the public team. And it really does, sadly. It's unfortunate they had a bad snap and couldn't corral it.
Well, we'll see what the public team, but the non-public team can really put a nice little hold on this game and boost their lead even more, as they're already up 14 and they can go up 3 scores here. Mark Webb back into the game.
I think it's going to him. Man-to-man, press coverage.
I know. Nat Kowski has launched it up a couple of times.
Yeah, Crawford out there.
Nat Kowski throws it as he's hit to the ground. Again, Maurice McCray in on the action.
That was a great job by Crawford to play Webb close. That's where they wanted to go with the ball. He ended up having to break off that vertical route because he was able to get good press coverage on him, get a good jam, good defense there.
So 2nd and 10 here for the non-public league. Kowski in the shotgun, 4 receivers, 2 split out to each side. Blackshear's in motion, the handoff goes to Blackshear. Cuts it up inside, nowhere to go. Good defense by the public league, not allowing Speedy Blackshear to get to the outside or even cut it up inside.
This is an enormous play for this Public's defense. The next two, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, even so, you're, again, in 4th down territory here. You're used to that because you're thinking in the NFL, oh, yeah, you need a 3rd down stand. But no, in high school football, especially in the red zone or at least just outside the red zone, this is 4 down territory for sure. Kowski in the shotgun, Blackshear in motion again. Some confusion on the snap. I think it's going to end up being a false start. Actually, no, they might get it to go on the defense. The initial call is encroachment. And that is indeed the call. Public team a little bit too anxious there, Mark.
Yeah, it looked like the blitz was coming in off the weak side. Just couldn't quite time it correctly, and it'll cost them 5. Oh, no.
Wait, they just changed it. Oh, false start. Never mind.
Well, that's a big break for the Publics. Instead of 3rd and 1, now look, backing them up.
Yep. It was, to the officials' credit, that was a little confusing because the snap and the defensive player kind of happened at the same time, but nobody else was ready for it.
Right.
So which one was first, the illegal snap or the encroachment? So that was a tough call, but looks like, I believe they got it right now. Another whistle, and I believe we're going to have a timeout on the field here. And I believe it's going to be a non-public timeout. We've got a flag flying. Chaos ensuing here at Charles Martin Memorial Stadium.
This is one of the oddest things I've ever seen, Ari. These penalties, oh my gosh.
I think we said the same thing last year too, Mark. All right, this broadcast is brought to you in part by All American Sporting Goods, located in Northeast Philadelphia at the corner of Cotman Avenue and Tabor Avenue. And they are a proud sponsor of high school football and especially the City All-Star football game. They are great people over there. They will get you any equipment, any uniform that you will need at All American Sporting Goods for all of your sporting goods needs in Northeast Philadelphia. So 3rd and 18. I didn't catch what the penalty was.
Illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution. Okay. I think we're going down the list. We're just checking off every type of penalty that we can have here. Natkowski fakes the handoff to Blackshear. Plenty of time. Down the seam. Caught. Touchdown. No flags. And that would be complete to Ahmad Kent. A beautiful pass by Mike Natkowski.
Safety got turned around the wrong way. And by the time he realized it, it was too late.
And we're seeing the speed. And we'll take a look at this replay of those West Catholic receivers. We saw Amadou Barry. He couldn't quite get connected with his quarterbacks. This time it's Kent just going straight down the seam, and a beautiful pass by Natkowski taking advantage of that safety. And you got to credit the offensive line, too, because they gave Natkowski time to throw that ball.
Yeah, not only did they give him time, they gave him time on 3rd and 18. Where everybody knows you're trying to throw the ball down the field.
Sean Thompson, this time the extra point is through. 33-12. It's a 3-touchdown, 21-point advantage for the non-public team. And if you're the public team now, Mark, 1:23 left in the third. This next possession, you almost have to score, or this one might be over.
It's 2 touchdowns in about the span of 2 minutes. And, this thing was 12-7 right before halftime. So it's been 26-0 here through little more than a quarter. Or a little less than a quarter, really, because it was in that last minute when they scored.
And that fumble that occurred, and the non-public team, it was on the bad snap, and the non-public team recovered was Danny Bentley. That almost took the wind out of the sails of this public team. And now their backs are against the wall. Alongside Mark Tribble, I'm Ari Bluestein. You're watching the Philadelphia City All-Star football game live from Charles Martin Memorial Stadium at Northeast High School in Philadelphia. Today's broadcast, again, is brought to you by Rita's Water Ice of Warrington and All American Sporting Goods in Northeast Philadelphia. So thank you to our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. The return, that was Tamir Robertson, who provided some electricity early on in this game. And that's a decent return, but not great field position. Boykin and the public team offense has a lot of work to do.
I'll tell you what, he started the game with a big kick return. He had a huge interception. He almost scored off that. Had he scored, who knows what would have happened, because they ended up getting stopped down inside the 10.
Well, a public league sideline that has had a lot of energy at a good amount of time in this game right now looks a little bit deflated.
Yeah, and the swing came on the pass interference calls and the non-pass interference call.
Well, now let's see if the public team can get back into this. Boykin is in the shotgun, split backs. That's a quick hit to Lopez, and he is down just across the 35, short gain of about 6. We'll bring up 2nd and 4. Actually, as they mark it, should be about 2nd and 5. Boykin in the gun again. Here comes the pressure. He's going deep down the far sideline, and finally the public team is going to get that pass interference called as Lopez got taken to the ground, and it looked like in coverage that was Kadir Roberts of the non-public team out of Archbishop Carroll.
Boykin and Lopez certainly have some type of rapport. It seems like any time Lopez is on that far sideline, they try to get something over there.
Well, these teams have had time to practice a little bit over the last month or so. And, Lopez is a guy who's electric, very good athlete. Doesn't have a lot of size, but very good athlete. And Boykin probably recognizes that. So pass interference is the call. First down for the public team. They're basically right at midfield. Boykin, back to pass. Running for his life. He's just got to throw it away.
It was a nice job evading the rush, especially that last end there that had a shot at him. Kind of stepping in, stepping out, buying himself a little bit more time just to make sure he got the ball out of bounds or if someone broke free.
So second down and 10 for the public team. .25 seconds remain here in the third. Into the game for the public team, by the way, is big tight end Joel Gland from Bartram, standing at 6'5" and weighing in at 240.
Yeah, he's enormous.
Handoff goes inside. Not a whole lot of running room for Terrell Brent, the back from Mastbaum.
I think that was Brent's first touch of the day. He's lined up there a couple times. Haven't seen a whole lot of running out of the public team.
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, they kind of abandoned it earlier. And now being down 21 heading into the fourth and final quarter, probably we'll see pretty much Boykin airing it out the rest of the way. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the fourth quarter action of the Philadelphia City All-Star football game here on Facebook Live, presented by the Sports Fan Base Network.
Bluestein, Michael & Company, certified public accountants, believe that your bottom line is as important to them as it is to you. Why? Because they care about the things that you care about. Whereas most accountants can take your numbers and put them on financial statements and tax returns, Bluestein and Michael work with you through the year to help you solve problems by providing sound professional advice. They enable you to make key business decisions, and they are with you throughout the entire year, not just tax time. Bluestein and Michael are not just hired hands. They are part of your team, and they provide professional service when you need it most. Bluestein and Michael specialize in accounting, tax, and consulting services for small businesses, primarily for the construction industry. If you're looking for yes men, hire someone else. But if you want sound advice from service-oriented CPAs, then you'll want to call Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200. That's Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200.
Back to game action here. Nasir Boykin stepping up, throws, and it's complete. And who else but Jeff Davis wrestled down at the 15. Big play and really nice job by the coaching staff of the public team, basically taking the quarter timeout as their own and drawing up a nicely designed play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when Jeff Davis touches the ball, something good happens. I'd be trying to find him the ball however I could do it. He gets open. really is. You look at that championship game against Erie Catholic. He 62-yard punt return, very nearly a touchdown. If he scores that, who knows how that changes the game. They didn't score on that possession.
Handoff inside to Terrell Brent, who I think had like one carry earlier, Mark. But, yeah, he hasn't been used a whole lot. But like you said, not a lot of running.
Yeah, he's one of the few light-colored helmets out there for the public side. So he's really stood out when he's gotten a chance to be out on the field. You could tell where he is.
Clock still winding here at Charles Martin Memorial Stadium in Northeast. Boykin back to pass, rolling to his left, going for the back corner of the end zone, a little bit too far for his high school teammate Amir Brown. Not a bad play, though. Brown was there. Boykin might have just put a little too much air under that one.
Yeah, maybe a little. You know, these guys have practiced that, I'm sure, hundreds of times over the past couple of years.
You take a look there at Amir Brown, who's been very active here for the public team offense. It'll bring up 3rd and 10, but again, 4-down territory, especially given the score. Boykin again looking for his man. Oh, and Brown had it and dropped it. When he came down to the ground, his elbows hit the ground and the ball popped out. Incomplete. So basically the same play. That one almost worked, but unfortunately Brown couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, there's some type of procedure penalty here on the offense, too. You could just see Boykin, after the ball fell incomplete, just kind of hung his head, over by the sideline.
Not a lot of fun for the public team, especially after the first quarter. 4th and 10, so whatever penalty it was not accepted. Boykin rolling, throws it, lobs it up for the end zone, nearly caught by Jonathan Hodges in traffic, but it'll end up being a turnover on downs, and that might do it for the public team here, Mark.
Yeah, I would think so. At this point, down 21 with 10 minutes left. Certainly stranger things have happened, but you can't like the way this has gone for the Publics in the second half. It really, it's been tough for them. On the other side, non-Publics have been pretty consistent, really, after the beginning of that first quarter. They didn't start great, but they stuck with running the ball. Some nice passes. Used Webb on the outside, who's shown why he's a top flight receiver, really countrywide. They've kept their poise.
Well, now the non-public just wants to run the clock out, eat up as much as they can. Cy Madden might be a good man to do it. The handoff from Butler to Madden, gain of about 5.
I don't think we'll see the ball in the air too much here. Some of the public fans are starting to file out, I think.
Now, we did get a pretty good turnout here, Mark.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They packed in here. People enjoying themselves, man. You look down, people are smiling, laughing, having a good time. That's what it's all about.
And, of course, they got some water ice, too, courtesy of our sponsor, Rita's of Warrington. Cy Madden gets the handoff again. A reminder to everyone who is watching, do not go anywhere after the game. We're going to have our own sideline reporter, Frankie Stokes, talk to one of the members of the winning non-public team. And we also want to tell you in a moment about what's coming up tomorrow here on SFBN's Facebook page on Facebook Live. Big Invitational Lacrosse Championship game between Culver Academy of Indiana, the special invitee, and the Haverford School. That will be at 5 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. Speedy Blackshear with the carry. Wrestled out of bounds.
Speedy really set the tone with that touchdown he had, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I think that was the beginning of the run for the non-public team. And you know, the public team had that big turnover. That really hurt them. And since then, it's really been all non-public.
You know, sometimes in high school football, along the sidelines and in traffic, runners can be very hasty or kind of looking around where to go. But both times with Blackshear and with his teammate over there, they were very calm. They've been there a million times before. Very impressive.
Butler hands it off. That was Wortham. Khalil Wortham, the running back from West Catholic, on the carry. Gain of 1. Now, I don't know officially how many timeouts are left for each team. The scoreboard says 3 each for both teams. I'm not sure about that. So we'll see if any timeouts are actually used here as we wind down this 4th and final quarter. Butler in the gun. The handoff goes to the Bonner Prendy running back, Joe Hartley Vittoria. I believe that's his first offensive touch today here, Mark. He has really had a big impact on special teams.
Yeah, he has. He had a very nice season this year running the ball. Very consistent for them. How about this? Butler's out there. His running back in Vittori cannot be taller than, I don't know what they have him listed as, but he cannot. He's 5'7".
Listed as 5'7", yes.
Okay, Ahmad Kent's out there. He's 5'9". Jalen Reynolds, a generous 6'1". Very generous. He was kind of out there with the little guys, and he's 6'3". Maybe he just makes them look smaller.
Yeah, that could be.
Just dwarfs them.
Butler back to pass on 3rd and long. Too high for Terrence Green. And that'll bring up 4th down, and it looks like the non-public team will punt it away. So at least the public team will get it back with a chance in this game. I mean, the non-public, if they continued to move the chains, they could have easily maybe even worn down the clock down to 0-0s. But instead, the public team gets it back. They'll have one more shot here.
I think if you took the penalties out of this, took a couple of the big plays out, what you'd see is there was a more consistent approach offensively for non-publics.
Yeah.
They stuck with the run, you know.
Thompson with the punt for the non-pub. And the bounce goes right to Ezekiel Lopez, and he just takes it forward for a couple of yards before advancing out of bounds.
If you're the public side, you know, early you had big plays from Boykin. I don't want to say it's fool's gold because he's capable of making any play a big play, but he's clearly tired. I mean,
right.
The defense are all city players for a reason too, right? So,
yeah, we could talk about all the offensive skill players. That's pretty much what we focused on, but you're absolutely right. I mean, even on the non-public side, you know, Anthony Diodato, 6'5", 265, defensive lineman for Archbishop Wood. He is just a phenomenal defensive lineman. And there are plenty of other players as well on defense as well.
There's one right there. I mean, that's an unbelievable play from a big guy to get down the quarterback. Shoelace sack.
Yeah, and that was Keenan Baines, the big D lineman from Conwell-Egan.
Great play. Didn't give up on it. You know?
He's been all over the field, by the way. Egan had a decent year. They're a smaller school at the 3A level. Had a decent year. But Keenan Baines has really shown a lot. Represent
Line inside or outside. Coming off the edge.
deep down the far side, looking for Colin Washington, and he secures the catch. And it'll be a first down and a lot more. Boykin just aired it out, just basically threw up the jump ball for Colin Washington.
And that's what we wanted to see from Washington, right? We wanted to see him use that big frame, go up and get the ball. Hasn't had a ton of opportunities, but that one certainly he displayed why he's here.
Yep, and why he's going to Temple.
That's right. A new era.
Yes, new era there. Colin Washington will be part of it. Receivers, Boykin again, back to pass. Here comes the rush. Boykin. Oh, nearly picked off by Kyrie Bronson, but almost a great defensive play by the of when you see the receiver, hey, I don't get a hand in there.
I mean, he's a heck of a player, offensively and defensively this year for Egan. That was a great breakup.
Talking about a lot of good Egan players here. Boykin stays in the pocket, airs it out. Who's it going to? And it's going to a man in a white jersey, Terrence Green. Green on the run. He's looking to find pay dirt himself. Can he take it all the way? And Boykin pushes him out of bounds inside public territory, and that will do it. And now the fans are officially filing out here at Charlie Martin Memorial Stadium. And in the end, Mark, I mean, Boykin did throw the ball a lot. At halftime, he was 7 of 14. We'll take a look at this replay on the interception by Terrence Green. He aired it out a lot. The run game really never got going for the public team, and the non-public defense really got the pressure on Boykin really for the last 3 quarters.
Yeah, and Boykin, he's really run himself ragged here today. I don't remember any semblance of any pocket passing. I mean, the pocket has broken down on him time after time, and he's gotten it outside. That's what he's had to do. At some point, it just kind of ran out on him. But I think Bonner Prendy had a couple guys. I mean, there've been yellow hats in the backfield.
Yeah,
a lot recently, and it speaks to, you look out there at those guys from Bonner Prendy. You don't see the biggest guys, but they're in on every play, man. I mean, It really speaks to that program.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at the landscape of really Philadelphia football. You obviously have the big schools like St. Joe's Prep, LaSalle, and Archbishop Wood. And on the public side, Imhotep is a little bit bigger than some of the other schools. But Bonner Prendy, Conwell-Egan, we've been talking about these teams. They are Class 3A, 2A schools, West Catholic. But as you see the carry there, nice play by the public team in the backfield. These are teams that they're good at those lower levels, and they have chances to get to state championships. That's what's great about the PIAA classification system, because you don't have to be St. Joe's Prep to have a shot at a state championship.
Yeah, and these guys certainly, you can tell they're and they still where they're even there. Take him down. He's 5'8", 5'7", whatever he is. It shows a lot of guts, shows a lot of heart, shows what type of program they have. And I'll say this: working in New Jersey often, I wish they had state champions there. It's a shame they don't.
Nice run there, going to the far side. I believe that was Khalil Wortham of West Catholic on the run. Indeed, it was. First down for non-public. Clock continues the roll here as we approach the 2-minute mark.
And the reality sets in now for these kids, winning or losing. This is it for high school football. I think back to just going to high school, when you kind of go your separate ways to college, or people stay home or go into the workforce. Bittersweet. Yes. And I'm sure right now these young men are certainly digesting that.
And we've got a timeout here. And we'll hit one more commercial break here with $1:58 to play. We'll be right back to finish up here at Northeast High School. Welcome back into Charles Martin Memorial Stadium here at Northeast High School. The crowd starting to head to the exits with this game well in hand. And the non-public going to win this one this year. And Mark, that was something we talked about at the top was, the public team won last year. The non-public, I know, again, it's a completely different roster every year because it's only seniors. But you just have to think that non-public, they wanted to win this one this year to get the public team back.
Absolutely. And these kids, they might be friends off the field. I'm sure many of them know each other. But there is some type of rivalry between publics and non-publics.
Right.
I mean, just in general, everywhere.
Right.
So it's nice to see it come out, and it's nice to see it's competitive both ways. Publics wins last year, non-public win this year.
Yeah, I think in the game program it has the all-time series. If you want to look that up, I believe it's pretty even.
Which really speaks to the amount of talent that goes in different areas. I mean, it's a great city for high school football.
And victory formation, and that should do it.
This will put the non-publics ahead in the series 23-19-1.
Still pretty even, though.
Very even.
Very even. So one more victory formation here. And that'll be it. So your final score will be 34-12. In favor of the non-public team, as you see the squads lining up to shake hands. And, again, don't go away. We're going to have an interview with one of the members of the winning non-public team with our sideline reporter, Frankie Stokes. But at times it's been exciting. At times it's been slow. At times it's been strange and weird. But I guess that's what you get from All-Star games, right, Mark Tribble?
Yeah, it seems that way, Ari. You never really know what to expect, but you're always surprised by what you do. Penalties, turnovers, a game that seemed to be in hand for the publics early on, or at least they were asserting their dominance, looking for a repeat, and it kind of fell all apart. 27-0 run by the non-publics to take control and to stop the short skid.
Yeah, you think about that. It was 12-7. Public team had the lead. And so many unanswered points. I think the pressure that was put on by the non-public team on Nasir Boykin really was what ultimately led the non-public to dominate and win this game.
Yeah, and also the non-publics rotated quarterbacks. I thought Butler coming into the game was a shot in the arm. That's when their offense finally got down the field and scored. He scored again right before halftime on a quarterback sneak, and then it loosened things up for the whole team, really. So he was a key.
All right, as the teams are finishing lining up and shake hands, we'll get set to send it on down to Frankie Stokes down on the sideline, along with Mark Tribble. I'm Ari Bluestein. Mark, it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad we got you introduced to Philadelphia City football in a sense. It's just an all-star game. It's not the intensity of a championship game, but still very solid and a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pleasure to be here.
And we got to look at, I love it, Frankie Stokes in the trenches trying to chase down her player of the game. And a reminder that the replay of this game will be up on our Facebook page, and we'll post it to our YouTube channel as well. You'll be able to access it on our website, thesfbn.com. And a reminder again, tomorrow we will have the Interac Invitational Lacrosse Championships between the Haverford School and Culver Academy. We're going to take actually a quick timeout as we wait for Frankie Stokes to talk to a member of the winning team here on the non-public squad. And they win 34-12 here in the Philadelphia City All-Star football game. We'll be right back to wrap it up right after this. Welcome back. As the MVPs of the game was given out, we head on down to one of the players of the game, Speedy Blackshear, who is down there with our sideline reporter, Frankie Stokes. Frankie, take it away.
Okay, Raheem, you just finished your high school career. How do you feel?
It feels great. I'm about to go achieve at Rutgers, hopefully. Start early, play early. It's going to be fun.
Okay. And to all the young players watching, what advice would you give them?
Grades count, and it matters very much. So keep your grades high, stay focused in school, and concentrate.
Thank you very much. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Frankie. Frankie Stokes, the third member of our broadcast team, did a phenomenal job. Mark Tribble, thanks again so much for being a part of Philadelphia football, and I hope you continue to monitor Philadelphia football. I know you got to do a lot of work in South Jersey, but thanks for being a part of this. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, Ari. Thanks for having me, man. It was great.
Again, a shout-out to our crew behind the scenes, our main cameraman, Steve Silvestro, our secondary cameraman and replay engineer, Julian Bellman, and our director and producer, Josh Bellman. Again, for my partner, Mark Tribble, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live for the Philadelphia City All-Star Football Game. Have a good night.